treadmill to walk Sally. Take on here.
We need to train Sally to start watching some of these shows.
Yes.
She can walk
You know,
with
I
you.
would love it if oh, excuse me. She was one of those treadmill dogs.
I saw a treadmill cat.
Mm.
He was
That's
very
the end of the
cute.
story?
Yeah, I mean, he was on TikTok. So
That's all we need.
He was very cute,
You know,
Yeah.
you make a good argument.
My imagination's running wild.
just like that cat was.
All right.
Like a regular treadmill or one of those like.
It was a walking pad.
Okay. No, but like the ones with the dogs, they harness them in and then they run and like it's like a like
Those are
a
awesome.
tank track.
I like that sound effect you just did there. Whoa. Calm down there, PC. Okay. Everyone. 3,
Elon Musk.
2. I've been back on it. I can't stop. He's such a great guy. I just can't stop. 3, 2. Go Nintendo Podcast. Webisode 1012. The Poltchageist Podcast. Mom Brain,
It's like
please tell us about
Steve Brule.
Poltchageist.
It's like a Steve Brule thing.
Poltchageist.
Gotcha, Denny.
Yeah, it is. Supposedly, oh God,
Did you say supposedly?
no,
Oh, okay.
this is sad.
It is sad, yes.
Supposedly, the regrets of a tea ceremony master who died before perfecting his craft lingered in some matcha and became a Pokemon.
There you go.
That's the story.
I know.
Wow.
4 inches tall, 2.5 pounds. Gender's unknown because he's too small. He can't tell. Category, of course, is matcha. Abilities include, unsurprisingly,
So I'm sorry. Continue.
yeah, okay.
Now that I've interrupted, please
Oh
continue.
man, Red Souza, thanks for posting that picture. It's adorable. Category is matcha. Abilities include, unsurprisingly, hospitality.
Too much.
When the Pokemon enters battle, it showers its ally with hospitality, restoring a small amount of the ally's HP. And that's the end of the Pokemon section.
So, Mom Brain, this is a question for you.
Thank you, Mom Brain.
You're welcome. Yes.
Because I imagine you know more about matcha than anybody else here. Maybe.
Okay.
And also about the Pokemon. Well, maybe second to do.
Thank you.
But is it a powder or is it a liquid? What did you
I
probably
think
already said
matcha
this.
is always a powder. Traditionally, I think it's a powder.
Right. So it's not the matcha tea. This person.
I love that you're asking her about this.
This person turned into like a powder, perhaps, and not a matcha
Well,
tea.
No, it's not a person. It's the regrets of a tea ceremony master who died. So it's his regrets.
It's his regrets. Now, here's what I can tell you. Based on the picture that I'm looking at, it's in a teapot, but also could not be liquid because the teapot has cracks and it's not spilling out. So it's really complicated.
And in the cartoon, it's voiced by Angelo Lansbury.
Yes.
So the gift that you're seeing, that is Poltchageist. That is what Poltchageist looks
look
like.
At that. Okay.
Oh, now
we
look
have
at that.
Percy. Hello,
and
Percy.
Now that I see the photo, the Angelo Lansbury line makes even more
Okay,
sense, and I
yeah,
love it.
thank you,
Yeah.
thank you.
Hello, Mom Brain. How are you?
Tale as old as time, dude.
I'm okay considering the state of the world. How are you?
I'm all right. Nicky Hill is here. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm here, and I'm grateful for that.
Well, we're grateful for you, and we're grateful for Deux, who is also here.
Uku.
How are you doing?
Uku.
And of course, Josh Grobot is here. Josh, what's up with you, my friend?
I'm feeling so great. Thanks for
Oh,
asking.
we like to hear that. Any particular reason? Call of Duty, bro? Pilatro addiction? None of my business.
Reminds me of the old college days.
When we did what? Call of Duty, bro?
Wouldn't you like to know?
I was there with you. I don't know what you're talking about. All right.
I'm a party animal.
Oh, I got you. You were a party animal. Those parties you threw back then. Woo! Man. They
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, baby. Hell yeah. Speaking of hell yeah, George is here. George, how are you doing, my friend? George, what's the matter, George?
George?
George. Oh no. George is, for those not watching, George has been censored. George has a censored sign on him and a patch over his mouth. He's not allowed to talk. Very topical, George. Mom, Brain, can you decensor George? Can you uncensor
No,
George?
I'm sorry. It can't be fixed.
His-
It's already done.
Please,
Mm,
please.
It's been done.
Just his mouth.
All right.
Oh. There we go. George, you're George, you're uncensored now.
I know, but I kind of got used to it.
George's
and
limes
I-
are censored as well, by the way,
And
for those
really,
not
I was
watching.
just I was just humming a tune. I wasn't really saying anything. So.
All right, cover him back up. That's fine. What? Mom Brain's having an.
Humminatugan. That was the word I was trying to tell you. Humminatune reminded me of Humminatugan. Remember I was saying that the kid was saying a word that
We
I was.
can't do a Tugan at the table. It's inappropriate.
It was a
Oh gosh.
She gave me old humming a Tugan the other day.
Humminatugan
Hummina.
or a.
You know the word. I never heard it.
It was a something a Tugan.
Snoog.
Look it
Oh
up.
man, I'm looking at. Thank you so much, George.
You're welcome.
Snoogin' a Tugan.
See what
for those who
happens when
don't
you
know, which is-
uncensor things, the joys
That's
and
right.
the communication and connection.
For those who don't know what Mom Brain's talking about, which is literally everyone, including the people at the table, some kid told her a
Jiddly
slang.
Yang was
Can
one of
you
them.
please let me say this? Some kid was telling Mom Brain a slang word, and she was trying to remember the word to ask if I knew it.
So
She could not remember the word, but George is jogging
what
her
is
memory.
what
so-
is jiddly yang?
so it was a
She's
kid
making
that
stuff up.
I taught in 3rd grade, and again requires my services, and so I spent the day with this kid, and I happen to have a really great relationship with this kid. Great kid. And he's like, Fahalatugan. Fahalatugan. And I was like, what does that mean? And I was like, is that like,
That's a Swedish, yeah.
I was like, is this like
So,
brain rot or
a
something?
Swedish sweet, maybe.
And he was like, yeah, look it up. And I go, if I look it up, is the tech department going to come fire me? Like, promise me that I'm not. And he's like, no, look it up. So,
It's real.
yeah. So, and it's apparently
Yeah, me Luke.
either like a synonym for or like similar in meaning to jiddly yang,
Mm,
Okay, come on.
of
You're not
course,
helping us
of
at all.
course.
which is an attention grabber.
mm.
What's the first word?
Fahalatugan.
Fahalatugan.
F-U-H.
And what does it mean?
U-L-U-T-O-O-G-A-N.
I hate this episode. I hate this episode.
And
so much.
it
Can
means
you please use it in a sentence?
someone who no.
The word the student told me was.
no. I'm just
boy.
learning now.
Mom
This is
Brain.
not what it said when I looked it up.
Oh my
While no
God.
one knows the exact definition of the term fahalatugan, some people believe it means that it's someone who's good in bed.
Hello.
Oh no.
There you go. So it was oh my God. So my joke in the beginning actually turned out to be true.
When I looked it up, it was like somebody who's like extra or dramatic.
Extra good in bed.
And then jiddly yang
That's a Pokemon.
is
Yeah.
a person
That's the evolution of Jigglypuff.
known for being an attention grabber.
Jiddly yang, jiddly. All right, let me say hello to Discord. Hello, Robert. By the way, hello, Judge Shabadoo. It is the place. If you get a light that says it's coming from On Brain, you got a 50% chance it's coming from me because I'm on her iPad. But it could also be coming from her. Hello, PC. Hello, Radical Defect. Hello, Robert J. Hello, Joe Shabadoo, or Jay Shabadoo. We're that close that I call him that. 10th Division and Roth and Giant Reggie and Red Souza and NicoDarunia. And look at these beautiful cats. I love them so much. Vachi and Kalas and Ice Dilbert and who was I talking to earlier? Popple. Thanks for joining us today on what will be probably one of the more William, interesting. I'm gonna say serious, but we never do that. So it's going to be one of the more
Takedowns.
interesting podcasts that I think we've ever done. Because I have this Snapple fact, and it says a group of cats is called a clouder. There you go.
No way.
Look it up. Look it up, Jiddly Yang.
And what's Alf's favorite food?
Oh, you're
Clam
right.
chowder. Was it chowder? I already forgot the word.
Clouder.
Clouder?
Clouder.
Clam chowder.
That is a yeast infection.
I already-
That's
know.
a yeast infection,
Yeah.
a clam clouder.
I know it's not a bit that you do, but my favorite new thing that you do recently is go to make a joke about something and then right after say, I've already forgotten the word, or I've already forgotten what you said.
Because I'm thinking about the joke too hard.
That is the best part, because when you
Yeah.
make the joke, the whole point of the joke is the word or the phrase, and you get it slightly wrong, which makes it that much better. So I am
Welcome to
on
my
board with
world.
this. Okay, so we are going to be doing a very, very deep dive into the Dispatch Nintendo AdHoc censorship situation. That'll be the bulk of the show. I don't know what else is going to happen in the show. I'm going to promise you we are going to cut other segments short. Music will not be one of them. We will do music and questions. I'm talking about news in general, but this is such an important topic in my eyes that we are going to really go into it to a level of minutia that we usually don't. So be prepared for that. I also have another. Hello, Brennan. She's good to see you. Got another story I want to share beforehand, which is great and video game related and nice and wonderful. I also have reason to give thanks to all you guys, which I'll get into. But first things first, and by first, I mean the fourth thing we talked about. This is serious. I'm talking to you guys right now, and I legitimately mean this. All this censorship and all this stuff with Dispatch that we're going to talk about in honor of the situation, which not surprisingly we are against. I want to say this episode of the podcast, if you feel so, is not censored. So we're not talking about nudity, obviously, but if you want to curse, you go right ahead and
Fuck
curse.
yes.
Now,
Wow.
you didn't even give me like a second to prepare people for it, but
Hell damn fart.
I wanted to say, this is a one episode thing for the situation because it's a little bit of solidarity. We're not going to show nudity, obviously, but we can curse because we don't usually curse on the show. No.
Crap
but-
is crap.
God damn it. There was something I was like, don't go out of your way to curse. I know how much you all curse in regular life. When you feel it appropriate, go right ahead. It's totally fine. And you can make jokes too. That's also fine. I just want to say here, everybody at the table, I think will verify that in my real day-to-day life, I don't really curse. Not because I am a prude or anything. I just don't curse. I enjoy saying fart more than I say fuck. So will admit when I'm playing Fortnite, I say fart all the time.
Yeah, you do say fart a lot.
We're like, what the
What the
fart?
fart? I say what the fart all the time. So I will curse if I feel the urge to, but I really in real life don't often do it.
So
I
this,
say shit a lot.
this
but
is a
outside of
great
that-
time for me to ask this question because I've been dying to ask. If anyone else does. So some people have a poop knife, but does anyone have a shit shovel? Because I have a shit shovel.
Drake,
And if
that
it's
is-
too big, I chop it up with the shovel.
Excellent.
You're just going. This is why I was like, we probably shouldn't do this because now they're going to make excuses just to say curse words. So there we are.
Loxbox is in the chat and says,
oh.
"Oh man, I should have driven up for the cursing episode."
Drake, that is the perfect gift. Thank you so much. That is wonderful. Hi, Loxbox. Good to see you. We speak your name, Music Man.
Yeah, I think PC and Loxbox should send voice notes that we could play.
We don't have any. Listen,
Hey,
no.
Loxbox is already cursed on this show.
That's
I mean, somebody else. Other.
I mean, we all have.
Sure.
I mean, where do? Come on. We had Dear Whiz, one of my favorite things I've ever heard. That comes from the show from Deux.
I
so-
actually, in a professional capacity,
Hi,
this
Mark. Good to
week,
see you.
replied to a colleague's email,
And Mark, you have not.
and the first word, farts. Farts.
I-
I forgot that
Listen,
was happening.
I
Let
just
me
like
read.
saying
Like,
farts. Hey, Master Koi. Good to
It's
see you.
effective.
I was gonna say.
Oh yeah, Master Koi. I do want to talk about that. Because that. Yes, you're right. He's bringing up Tomodachi life, which I
Why
also want to talk
don't
about.
you ask George?
What am I asking, George?
I
George,
just
what am I
wanna-
asking?
I just want to take this opportunity to say fuck lemons.
No wonder he was censored before the show.
And I let you take that thing off of his mouth, son of a bitch.
That was a really great story.
All right, so again, it's going to be a little scatterbrained until we get to the dispatch talk, and that's going to take up a bulk. But I will. I'm going to try and masterfully weave in the Tomodachi life discussion because it is important. But first things first. Have a story to share related to Donkey Kong Country. I'm sure many of you are 10 Division. That's great. I'm sure many of you have played Donkey Kong Country and are familiar with the game.
oh, I like Radical Defect, Master Higgins.
So,
Comment.
Radical Defect says one of my college professors said, "Deploy your fucks with grace." That's kind of what I do these days. That's a beautiful sentiment. So Donkey Kong Country, one of the most iconic games in Nintendo's history, made by Rare, and composing duties were handled by David Wise. David Wise made, arguably some of the greatest video game music we've ever heard because it still lives on to this day. Aquatic ambience and
Is that anything like that? Or?
keep going. I want to hear more. Sticker Brush Symphony is another, but Donkey Kong Country 1 and 2 soundtracks are unbelievable. So there's a little bit to the story, and it starts with PC, podcast member PC, who is in the Discord right now. Last week, she sent me a TikTok. She's on Joe Keery Thirst Trap TikTok with Joe Keery, the guy from Stranger Things. She's been getting all kinds of like compilations of him on TikTok because, she wants them. So it's him talking about whatever and a whole bunch of stuff. But in one of the clips she sent me, Joe is talking about how he listens to the Donkey Kong Country soundtrack when he's cooking because apparently he's a fan of the soundtrack. So she sent me that and I was like, we should post this because Stranger Things is hot right now and this is Nintendo related. Joe Keery has also been in a Nintendo advertisement before. What are you saying there?
That was last week? That was last week.
This is last week, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So I talked to Quince and I said, Quince, here's this thing. Make sure you credit PC. Do you want to put together a post on this? Do you want to come to my cottage? And he said, yeah. So he made a wonderful little image for the post and he put together the post about this little silly thing. I love little silly stories about that. So that was it. And I was like, thank you. That was great. Put the story up. Well, fast forward to this week and PC gets in touch again. And I'm going to go back and check my notes. And by my notes, I mean Instagram, just because I want to make sure I give proper credit where credit is due. Yes, she sent me something from Grant Kirkhope. Grant Kirkhope is another legendary composer that's been tied to many Nintendo games. He's done music for Donkey Kong 64 and Banjo-Kazooie and a lot of other rare games. Another amazing, timeless composer. She sent me something from Grant Kirkhope because Grant Kirkhope was nice enough to take a screenshot of our story, link to our story, and share it with his followers on Instagram, which is awesome. And he put the music in there and everything. Well, he put his music, but and then he tagged David Wise because they're friends and they've worked together. So it's really cool to see.
They're friends.
That.
They're not adversaries.
No, they are. They've worked together. They're legitimately friends, very respectful of each other's work. I was like,
do you think they ever played any pranks on each other? Let's get the scoop on that. But continue.
Well, you know what? I could now. So PC sent me that and I was like, wow, that's really cool. That like he didn't just link to us. He took an actual screenshot of it because the picture which I showed you guys, I believe the picture that Quince made for the article is great. Joe Keery in between Diddy and Dixie. Diddy Kong, not P. Diddy.
Let the record state that PC definitely flicks her bean to Joe Keery.
I don't think
sure.
I don't think there's any surprise to that at all.
Yeah.
So Grant Kirkhope sent that. Or put that on his social media. And I was like, that's really cool. And I was like, man, I follow Grant Kirkhope on X. I was like, I'm surprised I didn't catch that. So I went over to Grant Kirkhope's X page and I didn't have notifications turned on. I was like, how the hell did that happen? So I scrolled back and on X, he also posted it there, the exact same thing. And I replied to him and I was like, I'm so sorry. I caught this a week late. I apologize. I was like, thank you for sharing this. It's really nice of you. And he liked it and left a reply. Then I found out that David Wise also shared it on his social media. And I follow David Wise and David Wise follows me. And I was like, now I feel extra bad. So I went over to his page and I was like, said the same thing to him. I was like, this is really great. Thank you so much for sharing, blah, 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 blah. And then a whole conversation started on social media with me, David Wise, and Grant Kirkhope. And I was like, what is going on here? This is insane. So I thanked PC and I thanked Quince because I was like, this is all possible because of you guys. And I was like, it's such a cool story because, I grew up playing these games and I heard these soundtracks in my bedroom, in the living room as a kid.
You were flicking your bean to those soundtracks.
Yanking my banana to those songs. And I was like, this is crazy. All these years later, like this music still means so much to me. And I hold in such high regard. And now the composers are talking about me and it's crazy. Then later on that same night, which was today, at like 3 a.m, Donkey Kong tweeted me. David Wise direct messaged me on Instagram to have like a conversation. And it was like the nicest conversation, and I was having an out-of-body experience because he was thanking me for the post and like saying how he found out like the way I read it was he hadn't watched Stranger Things yet, but he knew that Joe Carey was in Stranger Things. But seeing the story pushed him to watch Stranger Things, and he knew about what's the name of the show? A song, Chicago, Back in Chicago. That is Joe Carey's band. He knew that song and knew it was really popular, but he didn't know Joe Carey did it, and he found out all because of this story because he was doing research.
And
he's
now
like,
he listens to that song and Joe Carey songs while he does dishes.
That's right. So he was like, this is all like full circle. And he was saying like, this is like the kind of good that social media could be used for. It really connects people. I was like, yeah, I completely agree. Like when social media is good, this is the kind of stuff that could happen. And I was like, I'm not going to waste your day. I could talk to you all night long, but I was like, you know, your soundtracks were my childhood and mean so much to me and mean so much to so many people. I was like, decades later, these songs are revered more now than they ever were. And like, I didn't say any of this to him, but there's like remixes on TikTok all the time that have hundreds of millions of listens and stuff like that. It's unbelievable. So I got to have like a 30-minute DM conversation with David Wise, and I'm like, this is crazy. And I started
sort of like the hope of an artist
The
that
Kirk
like
hope.
that's what he
that
said.
like their art will transcend like time and like be their legacy.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm not going to read his messages verbatim because they're personal, but he was saying basically that. Like he said, it's very uplifting to know that people still enjoy our creations, and that's what makes life that bit more enjoyable. I was like, man, that's great. We talked a lot more, but I was like, I just couldn't believe that I'm in like a private message with David Wise, somebody who's, you know, music as a little kid meant so. Like I remember sitting there when I first heard Aquatic Ambience and just letting like Donkey Kong swim around just so I could hear the song, and I'm like, this is an amazing song. And as the years went on, I only came to appreciate it more. It is part of my regular rotation. Like I let YouTube's algorithm do its thing and give me whatever music it thinks I want. But without a doubt, at least once during the week, it plays me something from Donkey Kong Country.
I got a little something to play you right now.
I see that, and we don't have a preview for what she's saying. So this is coming from
Are
PC.
you censoring her?
Go ahead.
Unbelievable. So,
You are fucking welcome. My unrelenting thirst has finally paid off for you.
I really think what's going on here is that PC had an unrelenting thirst for Donkey Kong, and then she found out about Joe Carey through that. So I think she's watching Donkey Kong Thirst Traps on TikTok.
Kiri Dong.
Oh my God, you're right, Kiri Dong. So anyway, thank you, PC. Thank you, Quince. Thank you, Grant Kirkhope, and thank you, David Wise. This like the last hour or the last day in particular has been like such a whirlwind of awesome stuff, and it's really cool to see. So I very much appreciate it, and of course, all of that thanks goes back to you guys as well, podcast listeners, site readers, Patreon supporters, because the only reason why any of this got to Grant Kirkhope and David Wise is because you people sent our article to them. And David Wise specifically said, I only found out about this because people sent it to me, and then more people sent it to me, and then more people sent it to me. And then it did the chain reaction of all the stuff that he learned. So just a really, really cool story. So thank you to everybody involved. That was awesome. I was laying on the couch last night at like 3:30 in the morning talking to David Wise with tears in my eyes because I'm like, I can't believe this is happening. This is
DMing with
crazy.
DW.
That's right.
Wait, so Grant Kirkhope is the voice of Donkey Kong in those games.
In what game?
Donkey Kong Country.
Where are you getting this
GBA, Wikipedia.
Regular Wikipedia?
What? Yeah.
Show me the page.
I mean,
Okay, regular Wikipedia.
Show me to me, Rachel.
If it says it, then I trust it. And the GBA version of Donkey Kong Country, Grant Kirkhope
Donkey
is the voice
Kong,
of Donkey Kong.
Donkey Kong 64,
Oh, Donkey Kong 64,
Hold
I
on.
know, yes.
Donkey Kong Country GBA, Donkey
GBA.
Konga,
Yeah.
Mario Golf Toadstool
Yeah,
Tour,
yeah, all that
Mario
stuff,
Kart Double
yes.
Dash, Mario Kart Donkey
I didn't know
Kong,
that you
Mario
said Donkey
versus
Kong
Donkey Kong.
Country. I didn't know that, but you said GBA, so that checks out. That's why I was confused.
You better enjoy it while it lasts, because Nintendo's going to ambassador his ass.
But the real question is who did the from Donkey Kong in the original Donkey Kong Country? Maybe it was him. I don't know for sure. We also need to know in Donkey Kong Country 2, Diddy's Conquest, who did the Diddy
Yeah.
I want to get on that for me, please. Figure that out. Computer, bring up Diddy Kong.
What is Donkey Kong going to be in that?
Is Donkey Kong in Donkey Kong Country Diddy's Kong Quest? Yes. The pairing in that game is Diddy and Donkey. Or Diddy? No. It's Diddy and Dixie.
Did he do the music at least? Maybe that'll get me
I like
there.
that you said Diddy, but you meant did he. This is funny. And very confusing. But anyway, thank you, Red Souza. Red Souza says, are you sure it wasn't you, RMC? That was perfect. I felt really good about that one. I got to admit it. I can't do it again because it won't be as good. But the one I did for you, in my head, I can hear it. And I was like, that sounded pretty good. All right. So there's that. I know, 10 Division, right? I had a brain fart. Donkey Kong Country is Donkey and Diddy. Donkey Kong Country 2 is Diddy and Dixie. Donkey Kong Country 3 is, unfortunately, Dixie and Baby. No shade to Dixie. All shade to Baby. Hate Baby. I don't say hate often. I hate Baby. Baby is one of the worst Kongs there is. I think the worst Kong there is, actually.
It's a shame that they took Donkey Kong away from him, his country. They took it away from him. I guess he got it back in Tropical Freeze. But
it took it away from my country. Give me back my country. And PC, that is correct. I do hate all babies in general, so maybe that's why I hate Baby Kong. But come on, he's in like the light blue butt flap outfit. I don't want to play as a Baby Kong. I just whatever. All right, I'm trying to think. How do I go to? Maybe I should do this separately. Yeah, I'm going to do this separately. I'll talk about Tomodachi Life. This week, Nintendo had a Nintendo Direct that was focused solely on Tomodachi Life, whatever the new game is called. I'm so terrible with names. Living the Dream? Tomodachi Life. Living the Dream. Yes, Nicky Hill is very confused about something.
No, just these pop-up ads that come up on websites and you go to close it and then another ad comes up over the X and then you end up clicking a link. What does that mean?
It's been on iPhone for a bazillion years. Click down here, this thingy.
Down there.
Boop, click that and then do reader view.
I don't have
Boop.
that.
What do you mean you don't have it?
Oh, it's up on top. Why is mine
Oh,
on
you
top?
haven't updated your phone?
I did.
Then I don't know. Oh, are you using Chrome?
No.
Are you using Safari?
Yeah.
Then I don't know. Then I got nothing for you. Yeah, I use reader view all the time. When there's ads that crash a site or something, that's how one of the wrestling sites I go to has ads that crash a site.
I'm not like judging you. But
here we go.
It happens on your site when I'm like scrolling down, reading something, and I get like 3/4 of the way down, and then the page refreshes, and I'm like,
yes,
oh my
trust me,
goodness.
I have talked to them about that. Use reader view and you'll escape it. I actually just talked to them about it this week because I noticed what I thought was an uptick in that. But anyway, Tomodachi Life, Living the Dream, 20-minute Nintendo Direct all about that game. We got a release date. It is coming out. I don't remember. April 16th. And in any other week, this would have been prominent news that led the pack as far as news for Nintendo goes. When Tomodachi Life, the original, came out for Jesus Christ, what was it? 3DS? There's a lot of pushback about lack of representation. I want to see if I could get the quote from Nintendo. Tomodachi Life 3DS. Let's see. I should have done this before. I apologize. But and I just saw something about it today. I'm just going to say this in general. Nintendo years ago when that game came out apologized to fans because there was a lot of pushback on how you couldn't do same-sex relationships and like there was just male and female and that was that. And Nintendo, I'm paraphrasing, but Nintendo made a promise at the time to do better if and when another Tomodachi Life came around. So that was like, Jesus Christ, over 10 years ago. So now the new one is coming out, and we got to see a lot more of it. And the cool part was Nintendo actually did keep that promise. They now when you are setting up your me, you have the choice of male, female, and non-binary. It specifically says non-binary, and you are allowed to have relationships with any of the me's in the game, just whether they're male, female, or non-binary. So a lot of people were like, that is fantastic. Nintendo made that promise all those years ago, and now arguably that is a hotter topic than ever. And I mean that in a negative way, because there's a lot more people who will vocally be like, this is woke, we don't want this in the game, we're not going to buy it. But to Nintendo's credit, they kept the promise and it's there. So that is fantastic, and that should be trumpeted far and wide. And again, it should be the #1 story this week and a great thing to share and thing for people to be happy about. And if you are, that's great. I'm happy about it too. It's just there's another story that overshadows it, but that is fantastic to see. I am very happy Nintendo kept that promise. So I would have thought that Nintendo would not go that route, considering the environment that we're in, specifically when it comes to the United States or America. Maybe in Japan it wouldn't have been really, people would have complained, but I don't know if it would have been like a hot topic. But here it is certainly a hot button issue, and they went ahead with their promise. So good on them for that. But we're out of the way with all that stuff, and now we're getting to the main story. The main story, which has been the focus of conversation all week long, is the fact that Dispatch came out on Switch and Switch 2, which should be a cause for celebration, but sadly it is not, because we found out something that we were worried about. The game is heavily censored, and there's a whole...
The game is not fun.
Oh, the game's fun. Don't knock the game.
The game is fun.
There you go, Reggie. And this story has been weeks in the making, because there's a whole thing that happened before the game came out, blah, blah, blah. There's so much I have been wanting to talk to you guys about, and I have not been able to because of embargoes and behind the scenes stuff. And I felt horrible about some of it, but now I can finally talk about all of it and give you the full details, or at least most of the full details. So here's what happened for those who don't know. We found out that Dispatch was coming to Switch and Switch 2 through a listing on the Australian eShop.
That's good.
That listing popped up before any official announcement of the game was made for Nintendo platforms. So that was cause for a lot of excitement. I was very excited to see that. Other people were very excited to see that, because the game seems like a perfect fit for Nintendo fans. And the game has done very well on PC and PS5. And this port is not that long after the game came out on other platforms. So it's fantastic. Great news. When I saw this, I was very, very, very excited about it. Then you fast forward a couple days, the news is out. I don't know the specifics of if there was going to be a press release to announce it or not, but since the eShop listing went live, I think Nintendo and AdHoc pulled the trigger and were like, okay, just put the eShop listings live everywhere. So we got to see the listings go live on the European eShop and the North American eShop, and that's when people noticed something. And I was sent a message about this, and I posted about it. On the North American eShop, when you went to go look at the digital deluxe version of the game, which has different artwork, that artwork was censored compared to the digital deluxe version on PC and PS5. The difference was the artwork was the same, but there's Blonde Blazer is wearing an outfit that shows a little bit of cleavage. She's got a star cut out. That was covered up in the American version of the eShop art. And I want to say Flambe is wearing a bathing suit that shows off some of his pubes, and that was covered up on the eShop artwork in America. But it wasn't covered up in the European artwork. The European artwork was uncensored. And we've seen this kind of thing before, where sometimes the eShop artwork is censored, but the game is not, because the eShop is forward facing, and Nintendo probably worries about kids going on there and clicking on something and seeing something they don't think kids should see. So whatever, eShop being censored and the game not being censored, I don't care about that. I can understand that point where you don't want to have like extremely graphic stuff, and you could be like, but there's hentai games and all that stuff. There are, yes, and there's some crazy thumbnails out there, but by and large, it's not thumbnails that have pubes in them or a lot of cleavage in them. Some of them did, but
pubes
mons pubis
it's a very funny thing to me that like pubes would be censored, right? Like it is body hair.
Mm-hmm.
But it grows on your down there.
But like,
Checkmate, atheists.
but like, it's not your down there.
Anything related to down there is filthy and dirty, and we should be ashamed of it. Get it?
I love my
Ready?
yacht.
No shame.
My
no
yacht
shame.
is
No
great.
shame.
No
Lots
shame.
of shame. Lots of shame.
My
no
yacht
shame.
is
no shame.
great.
Oh my God! Oh, so much shame. I was scanning my brain's body as I went down.
My yacht is a miracle.
And now, when you get to the feet, kind of shame nowadays.
And they
feet are
got
big.
pubes. They got every
Feet
once in a while.
pubes.
There's a couple of hairs.
Computer, show me feet pubes.
My
So
yacht is a miracle, and I stand by that.
so that happened, and we were trying to get comment on what's going on and all
Yachi.
that stuff. Oh, because people were like, "Is the game going to be censored?"
The game is fun.
Yachi.
And I was like, I don't think it would be censored. I'm like, I can't figure out why it would be censored, because we have games, plenty of games on Switch that were not censored, and Switch 2 is in its early days, but games there that are not censored. I was like, I don't know why this would be censored. Nintendo's been really good about censorship, especially during the Switch era. Nintendo has been the most friendly. They've hosted the most uncensored games compared to Xbox and PlayStation. So I was like, this would be quite a turnaround. In the back of my mind, I was like, I'm 25% worried. So I was leaning towards this is just an eShop thing. I got in touch with AdHoc because I wanted to do an interview. And they were open to do an interview, and I gave them my interview questions. And, I mentioned online that I was going to do an interview, and the internet at large was like, you better ask him about the censorship. And I was like, guys, come on, put a little faith in me. That was one of the first things I asked. Of course, I'm going to answer that, or I'm going to ask them that question. So we did our interview with AdHoc, and they answered all kinds of questions about the game. We got all kinds of scoops. It was great. I'm very appreciative of it.
Who cuts their lawn?
I didn't ask him that, and I should have.
Unbelievable.
But I did ask about the censorship.
Oh no, who trims the bush?
That's this week, by the way. I was talking to Deux about that. The financial report from Nintendo is this week, so fingers crossed we find out more about that. So I'll read you exactly what I wrote at that time. Quote, I'm quoting myself. We asked for comment from AdHoc concerning the decision to censor Dispatch's deluxe edition artwork on the eShop as compared to the PC and PS5 release, and if that indicated any censorship in the game itself. We were told that, this is a double quote, AdHoc quote. We were told that, quote, unfortunately, the studio cannot comment on the topic at this time, end quote. Along with that, it was said that if AdHoc is able to discuss the matter down the road, their comment would be shared with us. So that's what we got. Now, at this time in my life, as far as off-the-record conversations, I did not know anything. I knew what they told me. I knew they wouldn't comment, or they didn't have a comment to share. So I didn't have any inside information at all. So they replied with that, and I was like, I'm a little more nervous now, but I'm not majority nervous, but it was creeping up. So I thank them for the interview. That was that. And then a few days later, they asked if I wanted a review code, and I said, of course. Hi, Master Koi. Hi, Pixelrific. Good to see you. Pixelrific says, spare a thought for Crazy Colonel this week. The drawing options will be wild. Yeah, the pressure's on this time. What was I saying? Oh, they asked me if I wanted a review code, and I said I would love to have a review code. So they gave me the review code. They made it very clear you can't talk about any of this until the embargo lifts, and the embargo lifted the day the game became available, the time the game became available, which was noon, New Jersey time, noon on Wednesday. So I wasn't allowed to say anything about it until then. I was like, yeah, fine, standard embargo. But in my mind, I was like, but now I'm going to know if it's censored or not. And whether it is or isn't, I want to talk about it. But
couldn't talk about
I have to say, I was having a real struggle in my mind before I even fired the game up, because I was like, either way, I want this information out to people. And my commitment isn't the right word, but my commitment is to the people. I want to give them the information. And I'm going to be completely honest, and I'm probably going to get myself in trouble here. If it was just Nintendo, I probably would have went ahead and said, I would have told you guys and broken embargo and got myself in, honestly, a lot of trouble. I probably would have done it. I thought about it a lot. But this was AdHoc asking me to do the embargo. And if I broke AdHoc's embargo, they would have gotten in trouble with Nintendo. If I'm going to take on the trouble for myself, that's one thing. If I'm going to foist the trouble on somebody else because I want to get a story out, I didn't feel comfortable with that. I will say this also. I pushed back with AdHoc to be like, just want to be clear about this, that, and the other thing. I can't talk about these things outside of the embargo, and they're like everything at the embargo date. So that is between Nintendo and AdHoc, and I did not want to get AdHoc in trouble. So you could say that was the wrong decision or call for me to make. But again, if it was just me, it would have been like an 80%. I would have went ahead with it, to be completely honest. But since it was AdHoc, I was like, I don't feel right throwing them under the bus. That's not the right thing
It's
to
just
do.
frustrating that they put in an embargo on stuff like that on a game that people were pre-ordering. They're like, like they're
Well, you could
buying-
argue it's supremely stupid to have an embargo on a game that is already out. You can play it on PC and
unless
PS5.
there's changes to it, right?
But that's the thing, because I've done plenty of embargoes where games are out on other platforms and there's no changes. It's just I don't know why they
you've done
decide there's
that,
an embargo.
and you've talked about like the Xbox version of the game or something like that.
I don't know why I don't know why companies do that and pretend like other
Right.
systems don't
But
exist or other versions aren't out.
It really sucks. Then that
In this case, it really sucks.
The people know what they're getting, or they assume they know what they're getting, and then they're paying ahead of time before it's even available. They're pre-ordering it. They're just like, and they're putting, and
that's
now
why it weighed so heavily on
Yeah.
me. You are 100% right about that. I completely agree. And we're going to get into that whole aspect of it too. But yes, that weighed very heavily.
So like,
on
even
me.
if it was a Nintendo thing and you were under embargo, it's still, it's not completely the same because they don't have the game out other places.
Yes.
So that people are already
Yes.
expecting the product that they're getting.
There's layers to
you
it,
know?
certainly. Yes.
That's like,
yeah, it's different because people had
Like
already
buying
played
stuff
the game
on-
or seen that there is an
you know,
uncensored
it's
version.
like
yes.
buying stuff online. You see the photos and you see
Yeah.
everything, and then you buy it, and it's the Temu version or whatever.
Yeah.
And you're like, ooh, that's not what I want.
So if it was just Nintendo, here's exactly what I
Exactly
would have
right.
done. I've done this before in the past with other things related to the site. I would have talked to Mom Brain and I would have said, listen, here's the situation. There's a very strong chance I could get into serious trouble for this. I want to make sure it's okay with you before I pull the trigger. And there's been times where there's never been a time when she said no. I've done things in the past where I pulled the trigger and there has been trouble, but I always check it with her first because she's going to get roped into this stuff. So Mom Brain would have never been like, no, don't do it, but I'm not going to be an asshole and just go ahead and do it without talking to her. So that's, again, if it was just Nintendo, I probably would have pulled the trigger and done it, but you heard the story. So anyway, what you said weighed on me very heavily because what I didn't even get to yet, at this point, I didn't know if the game was censored or not. I just had the review copy. Mom Brain had not played Dispatch yet. I wanted her to play it. She wanted to play it. I was like, this is perfect. I will watch you play the Switch version of Dispatch. So we sat down to play it.
Oh my gosh, hold on. I just went to put Queef
So
in the
this has nothing to
Discord.
do with what we're talking
It
about.
does.
it's Queefies.
I went to put Queef in the Discord and I got a message. This can't be posted because it contains content blocked by this server.
Well,
Holy
talk
crap.
to T27.
It's Queefies.
Quince, good to see you. Quince, I glazed you earlier in the podcast if you want to go back and listen to that. But Quince says he's listening to Yacht Rock.
And
which
then
is fantastic.
wanted to reply with Queef base.
To do Q space
Yeah.
U space. So anyway, sat down with Mom Brain to play. She was firing up the game and very early game spoilers that don't really matter. Very early in the game, within the first 5 minutes, you encounter a character who is naked and they got their dicks swinging around. And as the camera zoomed out,
His wee winky and belongas.
as the camera zoomed out on the scene, as the guy's clothes are burning away, there pops up the black censored box. And I didn't say anything to Mom Brain. I was like, I felt a pit in my stomach.
I thought at first that it was a joke. Like it was like,
yes.
oh, there's supposed to be a wiener and it's censored.
Right.
Hey, Ruffle,
Like,
good to see you. I
Very
saw
Jimmy
that.
Kimmel. Hilarious.
Yes. So I was like, no. So then I let the scene go on for a little bit. And, that guy's flying around all over in the scene. And it's just a black box flying around everywhere. And I'm like, this is so I'm feeling it right now. I was like, this is so disappointing. And I let her get maybe 5 minutes into the game. And I was like, stop. Because I was so disgusted. I was like, let me check. Could you? Yes, Ruffle, I will talk about that. You got it, my friend. I was so disgusted by it. Honestly, I told Mom Brain to stop. We checked the settings, and I don't remember the terms exactly, but I believe on PS5 and PC in the options there is a toggle for visual censorship. If you turn that toggle on, you get the black boxes that you have in the Switch and the Switch 2 version. On the Switch and Switch 2 version, that toggle is gone completely. You do not even have the option to turn it off or turn it on or off. It is taken away from you. It is there whether you want it or not. Good to see you, Ice.
I mean, that makes sense, right? It doesn't make it may. I'm sorry. Thoughts in my head, and I'm responding to my own thoughts. It makes sense that when you turn it on, it's automatically censored, and you go into a menu and you turn that off if you want.
I don't
like
care
the extra
if the game
careful,
defaulted to
That's what I'm
on,
saying.
and
If
there's an option to turn it off.
right.
That's fine. The option being there is the important
Or
thing.
got to put in your parental code to
Fine.
release that or something. But it's
Just
the
give me
fact
the
that
option.
it's just totally
Yes.
all done
Yep.
for you. That's
So I was like, holy shit, this is crazy. So I told Mom Brain stop, and I was like, you're not playing this version. This is garbage.
You gotta see the wang.
You got to see the wang. Because I was like, if this is censored, there's going to be so many other things in this
We
game
all
that are going to be
know
censored.
how important wieners are in the world.
Listen, first question
the
when I'm playing
rating?
a game is, does someone hang dong? Yes or no? Yes, I play. No, I don't. The wang is necessary to the plot. Well, it says PC. There's jokes, but there's truth to this too.
what's the rating? Sorry.
Mature. That's the other thing. This game is rated mature by the ESRB for cursing, nudity, sexual content. Why are we doing all that when
What's the
all of
point of the
that
rating?
is censored, minus the cursing? You can hear cursing.
Right.
But the nudity is censored. The sexual content is censored. Why?
You said they censored a middle finger too.
A middle finger is censored.
They thought it was a dong.
There's a dick. There's a dick. This guy's got dicks on his hands. So yeah, I had Mom Brain jump over to the PS5 version and play that because I'm like, this is ridiculous. So little known fact by you guys, not a little known fact, a fact you didn't know. When Mom Brain talked last week about playing Dispatch, it was spurred on by her playing the PS or the Switch version, but I was under embargo, not allowed to talk about that. So we just never said what platform she was playing on because it started on Switch. But 98% of what she played was on the PS5. But again, we didn't name platform because here's a secret. It doesn't matter. But anyway, so after I saw it was censored, I went through and watched footage of the PC version and the PS5 version. I went in to go check settings to see what was there and what wasn't. And I was like, what is going on here? So I got in touch with AdHoc and I was like, guys, can I talk about this? And they're like, you can't talk about this. And I was like, can I get a statement from you? AdHoc I will tell you, I have talked more to game companies between Nintendo and AdHoc and other people I'm not allowed to mention this week than I've ever done in my entire history of GoNintendo. I felt I would never, ever, ever call myself a journalist ever. I'm a blogger at best, but I did more virtual footwork this week than I have ever done. I was trying to get comments from everybody. I was pushing everyone to get someone to talk about this.
Did
stuff.
anyone give you a response but redact it? Because that would have been fantastic. It would have been awful, but just hilarious.
So
here's our response, and it's just fully blacked out.
I will say this, and I will take this to my grave because it would not be right of me to say.
Well, you
I
can't take it
have
to your
had-
grave if you're gonna let it out.
Well, I'm not gonna. The stuff I'm not gonna tell you is what I'm taking to my grave. I'm telling you the overall thing. I have had conversations with AdHoc that are off the record that I cannot talk about. But I will tell you things I can say on the record now are there's no I'm not hiding anything from you guys as far all the details now, which we're going to get into, but the off the record stuff is opinions and feelings about situations that that's not right of me to share. And it's very clear. They were like this, here's how we feel, blah, blah, blah. Here's this statement, blah, 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 and in quotes. And, you can use that, but it wasn't these Nintendo's a piece of shit. They didn't say anything like that. It's just, you have conversations and certain things are meant to be quoted and not. So there's that. But
I just have to say too, PC just put, it's funny because it's the Cap'n Crunch, Oops All Berries. It's Dispatch, Oops All Penis Edition.
Now we're talking. So AdHoc was the first one I got a statement from because they were nice enough to provide me with a statement. So I went from not having a relationship at all with AdHoc to securing one of the developers for an interview, to them continuing to work with me and provide statements. And they were like on it. They were absolutely wonderful. I have nothing but great things to say about them. Like they really like, at most I had to wait a day to get something from them. So they were fantastic about this. There's sorry, there's been so many dispatch stories this week.
And not one of them about the band.
That's right.
Mm.
Dispatch. AdHoc put out a statement about the censorship that was like, I'm gonna have to go in the back end to the site to find
Hey
it.
now.
It's a good thing this is uncensored.
That was before like things got to where they are later in the week. Because I talked to AdHoc and I was like, can you tell me what's going on here? And they provided me a statement. Where did I put that goddamn statement? Oh yeah, wait, it's unclear. Son of a bitch. I apologize. There's so many. But I want to make sure I don't mince words here. I want to get the actual details for you. This is terrible. But anyway, they gave me a statement, and it was a statement which I will find, and they were like, it didn't give answers where you were like, okay, now I understand what's going on. It was very, corporate stuff. Are you looking for something, Mom Brain? Why can't I find this goddamn
No, but
statement?
Tentavision said, and of course this is not true. This is just Tentavision being silly. But as a way of
I like
apology,
silly.
AdHoc and Nintendo will be collaborating to release a new Dispatch DLC. It will be called the Dispatch Dick Patch.
Oh,
And will
I
add
like that.
3 times the genital content of any other version of the game.
Wow, really? Is this sounds like something from Spiders and Flies?
Triple Jennies.
How can I not find this goddamn statement? This is so embarrassing. Again, it's very important for me to not mince words. This was going so well before. I don't know what to do. Can I go to my email?
Sure, you could go to your email. Hey,
Uh,
how about Catherine O'Hara this week?
Oh,
Thank
Isn't
you,
that
thank you,
terrible?
Vampire
I
Man.
really
Terrible.
don't like.
Ay,
I really don't get hit with celebrity losses too like that hard,
Yeah,
and I'm still feeling that.
yeah. I mean, that's just huge
And like,
loss.
and then all of the comments from other people that worked with her, it just like really solidifies it that like she was an incredible woman.
Yeah.
Okay, here you go. I got it. Thank you. Sorry, Catherine. We miss you. Quote, AdHoc Studio worked closely with Nintendo to ensure the content met the necessary criteria for their platforms while keeping the core narrative and gameplay experience identical to the original release. So that is the same thing they eventually said in the press release. I just got to hear it a little bit earlier. So you hear that and you're like, okay, I can tell you. So when I write stories for GoNintendo, I don't interject opinion because I don't want to be like, this is what it sounds like to me. This is what it doesn't sound like to me. I don't know. I put it out there for you people to decide. In my personal life, I was like, this sounds like to me that Nintendo is at fault here. But people read this statement and thought AdHoc was at fault and Nintendo was at fault. And that's why I said somewhere else, I was like, it's a bit nebulous. These kind of statements are very carefully worded so that it's like a non-statement. You put it out and it's like, because they don't want to throw shade at Nintendo and cause trouble for themselves. So it's like, here's a statement. And it was, we did what we needed to do. And that's that.
Do you have a copy of like what the guidelines are, or have you seen or heard about that?
that was a question I had.
Because
That is a
like
question.
I'm curious, did AdHoc like over censor because they were concerned about
Hey, Matt, good to
things-
see you.
about things not getting through, and so they were just like, you know what, let's just cover all these dicks and stuff like that,
On it.
and trim the pubes, and then
We're going to need 25% less pubes.
and then Nintendo was just like, okay, that's fine. Like there was, or was there like a back and forth?
You asked the perfect question because obviously I wanted Nintendo's side of this. So I've gotten statements from Nintendo before. There are certain things when I know I ask them, they will give me a statement and it will be no problem. There's other things I ask them for a statement and I know that a whole bunch of alarm bells are going to go off and I may never hear from them at all. They'll just pretend like I didn't ask them something, or it will have to go through so many checks before I get a very watered down statement. So I got in touch with Nintendo and my rep, and I was like, here's the situation. Here's our articles. Can you give me a statement from Nintendo? And I said, I know this is a pain in the ass because the person I'm talking to is the PR person. They have to then go to Nintendo. So the person I'm talking to doesn't get any heat from me because they're the go-between. And I'm like, oh God, I would hate to be this person because I'm the press guy that's like, hey, go talk to Nintendo about this and get me a statement. And they're like, oh God, I gotta, because they know it's going to be a nightmare. So I sent out this request and I was like 90% sure they wouldn't give me a statement. Well, it took a few days, but they gave me a statement. And I can't stress this enough. And this is all because of you guys, listeners, site people. We got this statement first. We got it before anyone. And a big thanks to the PR people that worked this for us. I'm not going to name names because I don't know if they want me to say. But Mom Brain can attest to this. I check my email all the time. My parents were visiting. My parents visit every Thursday. Right when my parents were leaving, my email popped up and I got a statement from Nintendo. And I like malfunctioned because I was like, I can't believe I just got this. I need to get this on the site. This is crazy because I felt like Nintendo was going to be like, you know what? Don't put that out there. I was like, this is shocking. I checked news very quickly. I was like, did somebody else get a statement? No one had anything. I was like, oh my God, I got this first. So I emailed the PR people. I was like, thank you. Like a whole bunch of times over. I was like, this is crazy. So I put the statement out there. The statement is this. I said, I got to thank you guys. I will thank you guys. The statement is this, quote, again, this is from Nintendo.
Hooters, yum, yum, yum. Hooters on a girl that's dumb.
Nintendo requires all games on its platforms to receive ratings from independent organizations and to meet our established content and platform guidelines. While we inform partners when their titles don't meet our guidelines, Nintendo does not make changes to partnered content. We also do not discuss specific content or the criteria used in making those determinations. So Nintendo's saying, we aren't going to tell you what our rules are. Don't ask.
But that's what made me think like they're putting it on AdHoc kind of. Like this is the content. This is the content that we were given. You know, this is what they thought they needed to do, and we didn't question that. That's why I'm wondering.
In my opinion, Nintendo, threw AdHoc under the bus with this statement because they're like, Nintendo's wording it in a way that I knew people would be like,
we don't touch it afterwards.
Nintendo's like, we didn't do anything.
They gave it to us this way, and that's why I'm wondering.
We got guidelines, and we got. Nintendo wanted the statement to read like, we didn't tell them to censor it. We didn't tell them to censor it. We got our guidelines. And in my mind, I read this and I was like, yeah, Nintendo's saying we didn't tell them to censor it. We just said this is how it has to be if you wanted to be on our system. So sure, Nintendo didn't say you have to censor this, but Nintendo, without saying it, said do it like this or you're not going to be allowed on Switch.
It makes me think of like Mr. Burns and Don Mattingly, where he's like, shave those sideburns, and then he shaves the whole thing, and he's like, I told you, like that's not what I said. And like,
so I put out this statement, and I from Nintendo, I was like, this very clearly to me reads that Nintendo's going to try and look like, I don't want to say the good guy because nobody looks good here, but the guy that's like, hey, not our fault. We didn't censor it. They censored it. But I was reading it as Nintendo being like, this is the way it is. Either censor it or the game's not coming out.
And this is only US market?
This is everywhere.
It's censored in
everywhere.
But
you name it, censored.
But I thought the
everywhere.
I thought the thumbnail in Europe was not censored.
You are correct. That's as far as the uncensorship went.
Oh.
Europe is censored.
That's weird.
America is censored. Japan is censored. Everywhere, every Nintendo version of this game is censored. I know there was question at first if the European version was censored because that artwork was not censored. So people are like, what's going on? Our friends at Nintendo Life, shout out to Nintendo Life, they had a European review code for the game. And they made a point to say that the European code that they got was censored. So I know there was a lot of discussion online. I want to say this, which is crazy. Vast majority of people on social media and anyone talking about our coverage of this were very much on our side. There were only a few. I was way more in the comments than I usually am because this is a hot topic. And I want to make sure I covered it appropriately. There were very, very, very few people who were pushing against anything we did. And there was someone who said, the game's not censored in Europe. Quit telling half truths. And I was like, I'm 99.9% sure it is not censored, or it is censored in Europe. I was like, I think this person's wrong. So I went, talked to a whole bunch of people, did a whole bunch of research, went to Nintendo Life to see their review. So I took a screen cap, I linked their article. I was like, look, even Nintendo Life says they have a European copy and they specifically say it is censored. And the person was nice enough to apologize, which never happens on social media. They were like, this is really sad to see. I'm sorry for what I said. I was incorrect. I was like, hey, no harm, no foul. Everybody's upset about this. I get it. So that was great to see. I did have one person on social media. So I didn't even talk about that. I wrote an article. I'll get to why in a minute. But I put the article out online, and on social media, I do a different blurb. And I said, like, the adult content in Dispatch is not there to titillate the audience. It's there because it enhances the story and adds into the humor and the seriousness and the connections between characters. And I said, that's why the censorship is such a big deal. Read about it in my op-ed. And somebody responded in like all capital letters, and they were like, even if it's there to titillate, it's allowed, you fucking prude. And I was like, I'm not saying that. Like, yeah, I was like, I wanted to be like, I have Honey Pop. I play Honey Pop all the time. My Switch
All
has
the
these
time.
games on it.
All the time.
I wanted to say all that, but I was like, there's no right. I'm not going to fix anything with this guy. And I was just like,
Like,
God,
even
it's
when
so
you're on the
stupid.
same side, because like he's
That's what
he's clearly on the same side, but he's just
The only thing I was going to
Had
say
to
was
be-
start a fight. And I'm like, there's no point to it, because I wanted to be like, I'm on your side. I'm just saying, in the case of Dispatch, that's not what's going on here. Like the hentai games on the eShop, the majority of them, the sexual content that's there is just to titillate. There's no story or anything to explain it. And listen to me, I am 100% okay with that. But my point was, in Dispatch, we're going beyond just censorship of something that's meant to titillate. We're going beyond censorship that actively impacts the story, the characters, and the experience.
titter chat.
Whereas on the hentai games, it affects your gooning, which is equally important, but not what we're talking about here. So anyway, I wrote, because I was so upset about this situation, and I'm sitting in the in-between of the 2 weeks where the game isn't out yet, but I know it's going to be censored and people are going to lose their shit, rightfully so. I wrote an op-ed that I took like a really long time to write and like put a lot of thought into it, because this to me is disgusting and marks a major change with Nintendo, which we'll get into later. But I'm like, this is horrifying. And I was so distraught, and still am, that this situation is going on. So I wrote the op-ed and I put it out there. I cannot thank you guys enough. Here's where I give you the thanks I said I was going to. Throughout all this coverage, you guys have read it, shared it, posted it, put it on social media. It has been like the most professionally satisfying week of GoNintendo I have ever had. It has been unbelievable. You guys really trusted what I was writing, and not just in the fact, with the opinion piece too, which is asking a lot. I don't ask anybody to share anything. I just put it out there. But you guys trusted our reporting on it and the op-ed stuff enough to share with other people. Nintendo was being sent our article on the factual piece and the op-ed stuff as reasons for why people wanted refunds on their pre-orders, and they were getting them. So thank you for trusting me so much for doing that. I really appreciate it. And thank you for trusting me. And so much of this stuff happened this week, and we got so many answers because you put our stuff out there to the greater internet. We were, when you searched into, I just had another reason to talk about this a couple of weeks ago, but it happened again. The day this censorship debacle broke, if you search Nintendo on Google News, we were the #1 search that came up. And not even the fact, we were, my opinion piece was the #1, which is insane. And people caught on to that because my sister had, I was talking to my sister about it, and she shared it on her Instagram, and then whatever. It was crazy. It was crazy. The fact that you could see like the square of here's what's hot right now. And it was my opinion piece, and then 3 other articles that were about Dispatch being censored. And I was like, Jesus, the opinion piece is #1. That was nuts. So thank you so much for all that. And through all of the coverage you supported this week on the site, it was awesome to see. I just hate that it was this topic. So, because I was in the in-between of waiting for this bomb to drop, and I wrote that piece to let people know how I felt and to talk about the situation in general and inform people, and for an element of catharsis for myself as well, because I was so distraught. All that happened. So we had the statement from Nintendo. We had the statement from AdHoc, and it was a nebulous, AdHoc's point. It's the Spider-Man gif of them pointing at each other. And in my opinion, I was like, this is a Nintendo thing. Nintendo's to blame here, not AdHoc. So all that happened. I actually had reached out to Kit Ellis and Krista Yang, the former Nintendo employees, because they posted a video about this as well, where they were like, what's going on here? And they used to work at Nintendo. I have a good relationship with them. No, I'm just burping. Snapple.
Snap up.
So I reached out to them because I have a good relationship with them. And I was like, guys, I saw your video. I really liked it. I was like, you want to share a statement with me? And they were like, yeah. So Kit gave me a statement that I have not posted yet. I'll explain why. Talking about this situation. It's a great statement. The only problem is
a lot of F words.
And I got to censor that stuff. I don't allow. I got his statement, and I was like, this is important to me. I want to make sure this gets a prominent placement on the site. So my plan was I'll post all the news for the day, and then I'll end with that, because then that way it'll sit at the top of the site for a little bit longer. Because, GoNintendo's news flows quickly, but if I finish a whole round of news and then post something, whatever that's the top will sit there longer. So that was my plan. Right before I was about to post it, the big statement came out, and I cannot tell you how interested I am in seeing how this plays out, because I don't know what's going to happen.
So Dark Gary made a statement?
Dark Gary emerged from the shadows. I was trying to keep...
going to have a lot of work scrubbing all this from existence too, right?
I was trying to keep on top of all the dispatch news I could to keep up with what's going on. And that's when I found out shortly after it happened. Let me get their name for you. Nick Herman, which is AdHoc Studios co-founder. So literally one of the top 2 people at the company.
Pee-wee's cousin.
Went to the official AdHoc Discord or Dispatch Discord and shared a massive statement.
See hell.
I don't know what led them to make this statement, other than they saw all the stuff that was going on and they were like, you know what? Fuck this. And they put out a statement.
Fuck this.
But their statement is a definitive. Here is exactly what happened and why. There's no muddied waters. There's nothing. It is exactly, here's what happened. So I'm going to read you their statement in full because it's very important. PC already said it. It's just one line and it says, here at AdHoc, we love tits and dongs. That's all that they said. All right. So here's the actual quote. It's very long, but let me get through it, guys, and then we could joke about it all you want.
On the site?
Yeah, I'm reading it right now on the site.
Does your voice need a break? Do you want?
No, I'm good. I'm good. Here we go. Okay, quote, okay, let's talk Switch release. We've been quiet for the last few days, not because we don't want to address this stuff, but because we've been trying to make sure we're being good partners with Nintendo. They've made their own statement regarding the issue. I'm not going to read that because it's the statement we got. It's the statement we got. So they quote that. They go on to say, as Nintendo states, any game that's going to be on the Nintendo platform needs to, quote, meet Nintendo's established content and platform guidelines, end quote. This is the key point. Nintendo has content guidelines. Our game didn't meet those guidelines, so we made changes that would allow us to release on their platform. That's what happened here. Honestly, we thought this would be obvious since we're the devs that released a fully uncensored version of the game on other platforms. I'm going to stop here and interject. That is what I always thought all along, because there were people saying this came about because AdHoc only released one worldwide version of the game. And in Japan, this stuff usually almost always gets censored. So people were like, there's only one worldwide version. And that's why everybody defaults to the Japanese version, which includes the censorship. Whereas Cyberpunk has 2 versions, a version that released in Japan and a version that released in the rest of the world. And the rest of the world's version wasn't censored, whereas the Japanese one was. So people were like, this is an AdHoc thing. They were too lazy to do the submission. And I was like, these people are assholes. You're just throwing this shit out there without actually thinking, oh, this could have an impact and this could become a narrative. So there you go. That is not the case. I'm continuing on with the quote. AdHoc goes on to say, we initially assumed, like some of you, that because games like Witcher 3 and Cyberpunk are on the platform with similar types of uncensored mature content, Dispatch would be allowed to do the same. During the porting process, it became clear that this was not the case, so we asked that we include a disclaimer on the store page to inform customers that content would be different than on other platforms. We worked with Nintendo to get storefront language approved. I'm going to stop the quote there for a second.
Was that up? Because I honestly didn't look.
I'm going to get into that in a second. Here's my pushback on AdHoc. I agree with them that you would have your game like Dispatch and be like, it's got dicks, it's got boobs, there's some sexual content. We know there's other games on Switch and Switch 2 that have that content. We'll be fine. They still should have checked before getting into the process. Just even if you don't think it's going to be an issue, you should still check, because they say here, during the porting process, it became clear. So they were already working on the game thinking that this isn't going to be an issue. And then during the porting process, it was like, uh-oh, this is going to be an issue. They should have checked beforehand. They should have dotted all their I's and crossed all their T's and been like, is there, lowercase chase, is there going to be anything here that we are going to have to censor? Before they even talked about the porting process, there should have been some due diligence there. That's a light pushback on AdHoc. I don't think they made a huge mistake, but I'm just saying they should have double checked.
I would be like so excited that this game can be ported and like.
But like they say, to be fair, they see Cyberpunk, they see Witcher, they see all these hentai games, and they're like, why would we be censored?
I'd be so
it's a very
like,
light pushback on that.
I feel like there'd be so much adrenaline and like excitement to just get it ported.
That's
and be
fine,
like,
but there's
still, like, but also be like, we're good to go because look at everything else that's there.
That's fine, and I agree with that being the majority of the team. But there are legal people on the team whose job is to look into that stuff, and it has to be checked. And it's a shame that it only came up during the porting process, because I would imagine there would be some people at Dispatch or at AdHoc would be like, maybe we shouldn't put it out on the system. We don't want.
But it was like too late. I mean, I guess they could have stopped the porting process, but it would have been like throwing good money after.
Their decision at that time was like, it's better to release a censored version and no version at all. But had they known this beforehand, I'm sure there'd be people on the team who'd be like, we don't want to censor our vision, our story. And I would agree with that. Whatever decision they make is right for them.
Yeah.
I want to stress that at all. I have no right in saying they should have or should have done this or should have done that.
You have more to
whatever they did
talk about, but I have a question.
For them. Yeah.
Would you be okay with it? I don't think so. But if this was censored, the digital version was censored. But if they sold a physical release that wasn't.
So, no. Kind of. If they were out at the same time, if I could go to the store and buy Dispatch day one with eShop, I don't like it, but I'm
like
okay
if
with
there's
it.
something going on where they're like, we're working to get this done, physical release.
Yes.
We're trying to really streamline it and push it forward, but we can't talk about that right now. But like, still, that doesn't seem right if that were the case, because we don't know if that's the case. I'm just throwing this out there, but like, that should still be known.
That has happened before multiple times. There have been games on the eShop that were modestly censored, still less censored than other versions of the game, but still somewhat censored. But companies would put out physical versions that are completely uncensored. So I asked AdHoc this during our interview and asked them again after all this, because in our interview, they very heavily hinted that they want to do a physical version.
That it's their dream to have.
So they hinted at it. And now I've followed up on that question. I've been like, guys, if you do a physical version, could that be uncensored? I have not heard back from them yet. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. But yes, that's a fair question. So if it was out day and date with digital, I wouldn't like it, but I'd be overall okay with it.
And also,
if it was like here's the digital version, censored, physical version 6 months down the road, I'd be like, no.
But for me, the biggest thing would be
first time
that it's known from the start. The digital version is censored. The physical version is not. Like, you know what I mean? Like, even if it was day and date and they didn't say, oh, this is heavily censored and people are buying it, that would be a problem.
Here, Nicky Hill is, man, you're on the ball, whether accidentally or not, but you're asking you're saying the perfect things right at the perfect time.
He's the Angels advocate today.
The AdHoc statement goes on to say, quote, where we absolutely need to take full ownership is the placement of that disclaimer. Talking about on the eShop. Again, it was our intent to go out of our way to tell people looking to buy the game that this content was censored. While we didn't have complete control over the language, we did have control of the placement. Wires got crossed and we put the disclaimer in the field literally titled disclaimer instead of the about the game section. We didn't catch this until after the launch when we saw people saying we should have called out the changes on the store page. And when we went to make sure it was there, it technically has been there the entire time, just in the absolute worst spot that makes it look like we were trying to hide it. That is true. So they're saying we put it in the disclaimer section. It should have been in the about the game section because it was in disclaimer, which is all the way at the bottom. And it's like, by the way, this is censored. And even the censorship statement wasn't enough for me to think it would be.
Was that George saying, by the way, it was censored?
I just believe that everyone should know. Like,
you're right, George.
Should be right there.
Right
there.
So yes, I would have liked this statement that was like, this game has visual censorship, private parts, obscene gestures will be censored. Something that says that. Private piece.
It's
PPs, if you will.
It's tough. How I mean, I believe them. Like how
100%. I want to say 100%. I believe them.
But it just stinks how everything aligned. Because like you weren't allowed to talk about it because of the embargo either. So it would be so easy for somebody to download this and have no idea that it was censored, and that just stinks. That stinks.
Were you
so
talking
bad.
to them during the embargo then?
Yeah, like every day. Every day.
I don't know.
Constant line of
I don't know
communication
how
between me
much
and them.
work goes into changing those things on the eShop. You know?
For them, nothing. For Nintendo, Nintendo. This is my speculation. I don't have an official answer, but it's like, can we change this one line on the eShop? And Nintendo's like, let us talk to 28 people before maybe we can do it. Like, it's one of those things. We can
neither confirm nor deny that we can change it.
It was so like
here.
crazy behind the scenes done that there was a time when you went to the eShop, instead of them putting it where AdHoc wanted it, they put the exact same line in the bottom of the eShop twice. So it said the same thing twice at the bottom. So somebody behind the scenes was like, we got to fix this, and doing it wrong quickly. And, whatever. Somebody at Nintendo was like, this is becoming a headache. We do this. So a mess. The quote continues on.
Gonna need some Advil to
this
deal
is,
with this AdHoc situation.
This is 100% our mistake, and it was fixed in the America's store pages a few hours after launch to give more visibility. We've also added a disclaimer before purchase. As of writing this, the other regions have either published this change or are in the process of review. This was yesterday. To our fans who are looking forward to playing the uncensored version on Switch, we're truly sorry. We have a right to be, or people have a right to be pissed. Lots of lessons learned here. Thanks for sticking with us. I have to say, do I think AdHoc handled all of this correctly? No. They are a first-time publisher on a Nintendo system. So there's things you learn. That it's unfortunate that this situation came to be. I still think things could have been handled differently, especially the language for how things, the language for describing how things were censored and getting it out there beforehand that this would be censored. I don't know if Nintendo was like, you can't say this, or if AdHoc was unsure if they could say it, or AdHoc didn't think they would need to say it. I don't know what the answer is there. I can't tell you. But it should have been known more. It should have been known very obviously. It should have been in a trailer, in my opinion. It should have been like everywhere you looked that showed you the game for the Switch or showed you where to buy the game for the Switch should have been very clearly labeled. This is censored as compared to our original vision. That's my opinion. But overall,
I mean,
I want to say I'm team AdHoc on this as much as I can possibly be. I think AdHoc got screwed. I think AdHoc was thrown under the bus by Nintendo with their statement. I think I'm very upset with Nintendo. Very, very, very.
And I still
upset
wonder if they over censored it because they were trying to just like, trying.
There is a world where that could be the case where they're like.
And I would.
Well,
love
I guess
it now.
we better just make.
I would love it now if they're working to like fix it, and instead of removing the black bars, they just put dicks over the black bars.
I'll take it. Special bonus mode. Speaking of that, Nicky,
like they use AI to do it, and so like if there's boobs that are censored, there's a big old peen straight across the boobs.
But now it won't be cartoon; it'll be realistic. And you make the perfect statement again. The last part of their statement says this: "So what now? We're already working with Nintendo on a path forward. While we can't make any specific promises just yet, we're confident we'll be able to push an update to address at least some of the censored content. I'll get ahead of it now and say that between dev time and the console submission process, we're talking weeks, not days. So yeah, usually this stuff can
So they
take
have to resubmit.
this can take a month for submission approval, and especially in this situation, it's going to be eyes are going to be on this very closely. So your point of them ad hoc potentially before the game came out being like, let's just censor all this stuff and assure that we'll be able to make the deadline.
Because sometimes there's gray areas, but on paper, Nintendo is very strict. So it's just like this won't fly, this won't fly, this won't fly, this won't fly. Let's just censor it because they're not going to want that.
Yeah.
And
especially after they
and that's why-
presumably already assumed they'd be allowed to do.
Because
And
then
so-
you swing the pendulum in the other direction, and you're like, all right, well
Is it a
then let's not take any
swing
the dong in the other
Thank
direction.
you. But then that's why Nintendo can then turn around and be like, we don't have any part in this. This is what they wanted to censor.
They wanted
so
to
we
censor
just
the middle finger. They censored
we
the middle finger.
said, are you sure about that? Oh, we're okay. Here it goes.
So
we're
here's
going
the
live.
problem. Here, there's many problems here. But if that is the case, if AdHoc was like, let's just err on the side of extreme caution and do all these censorship things that Nintendo didn't necessarily need to be in place, this makes AdHoc and Nintendo look extra bad because then people are like, Nintendo's taking this to a puritanical level of censorship.
I still don't look negatively towards. I mean, if that were the case, this is again all hypothetical. I think it should be on Nintendo people to be like,
cannot stress
have
this
that
enough.
communication back and forth.
I am 100% against Nintendo here. I cannot stress that enough. I do not think AdHoc did everything correctly. I think they made some decisions that weren't the best in hindsight.
But they've also named those decisions and talked about it.
I am more than willing to say, in my personal opinion, the things that went wrong here were by mistake and unintended rather than done on purpose by AdHoc. And I guarantee, in my opinion, I say that AdHoc was really taken aback by what went down here. And they were like, what the hell's going on?
I do feel bad. Like, it was their first Nintendo release, the first time dealing with this.
Based on the interview they did with us, they're very clearly Nintendo fans.
They interpreted the guidelines in a certain way.
Well, that's your opinion. That's your opinion. We don't know that for sure.
Well, no, but so in my opinion, if I was filling out a forms or whatever, and I saw, here's a spot for disclaimers, we should put our disclaimer in the spot for disclaimers.
Yeah. Well, I'm talking about specifically content in a game. Like
during the submission process, I don't hold that against them that they put it in the disclaimer section.
I don't hold it against them either. No. I just, if it was me, I would have been like, how do I get this at the top of the page? That's what I would have asked. What do I need to do to make sure this is the first thing people see? Right. That's what I would have asked.
And I've never actually looked at the eShop close enough to see what disclaimers are even posted by other companies. So
Ruffle, I promise I did not forget. I will talk about it. I promise. I have
a question when there's an opportunity.
Let's do it. Give my mouth a rest.
Well, it's a kind of a quick question, but so AdHoc is probably doing all right for themselves, I think, right?
Oh my God. This game's been a bigger hit and much quicker than anticipated. So I'd imagine monetarily, yes, they are doing pretty okay.
But I want to, just make sure that I name, there's got to be a financial impact for AdHoc when it comes to this. One, people aren't going to buy the game potentially because they only have a Nintendo system and they don't want the censored version.
There will be people who, no matter what happens from here on out, will not buy the game. Yes.
Right. And may not understand the finer points of this and then may end up being screw AdHoc. Two, at this point, how much time was spent, which then, for me, it's money for them. So how much money was spent on censoring everything and adhering to whatever these guidelines are. And then B, if they're now working towards uncensoring and that's a lot of money that AdHoc is spending. Hold on. That AdHoc is spending, Mr. President, I'm speaking, on all of this. And I hope that this does not financially like ruin AdHoc, but if they were like an up and coming indie developer, like this would probably not even be possible and they wouldn't be able to fight the fight. And I think that blows. Now you can talk.
You said this was quick. That was.
Well,
I
that's
feel like an
also-
interpreter who, like, somebody's saying 17 lines in Japanese, and the interpreter's like, they like it and they're excited to release it because
But that's so
said
like
so many things.
CD Projekt Red, maybe they have more money to do separate ports for different regions.
Again, that has nothing to do with what happened here. That was fans trying to make an excuse. That has nothing to do with it.
Well, because I was
That
just-
was fan speculation because they were
it just doesn't make sense.
walking
that, like,
blind, trying to figure out why this happened.
It just it doesn't make sense that
We're gonna
there's
talk about
content
too.
there's
We are gonna
content
talk
out
about
there
that.
that gets released and it's not censored.
To your point, yes, this is without a doubt going to cost them money because they now need to put more time into the game, more manpower, more worked hours, the submission process. Yes, they are going to spend more money on it now because of this, and
Would
their
like
potential
to
returns for it are going to be lesser because there's this whole censorship
more
thing.
people power,
What's project
not
Up-
manpower.
Like John Laurinaitis.
Yeah.
People power. I'm looking at Nicky Hill.
Yeah, no, I'm just thinking like a crowdsource thing, just to cover.
No,
You know what I mean?
no, that would be suicide. You would not do that as a company. No. You can't be like,
Right.
you don't
We've
want to be
already
like
released
Nintendo
it,
screwed
you
us
know.
over, and now let's let the people to vote. And oh my god, that'd be a nightmare. No, AdHoc is very much in the good side of things right now. Don't do anything.
I'm not
else.
saying to like put that on them, but like
No.
to manage.
You
the
turn that
financial stuff.
down. You say no. You shut that down completely. 100%. You do not do
Because
that.
I would love to just pay for something knowing that I'm going to get what I wanted.
Ruffle, I'm with you. I promise.
And I'm
Yeah.
glad, like you said, that they're giving people refunds.
Not everybody, but they are. Yes.
Yeah.
Like they're working
somebody was
towards that
just
because
saying-
that's something you don't get with digital releases.
Stillbert was just posted a picture of a chat in the Discord. Per Nintendo's terms and conditions, we aren't normally able to refund digital purchases. To look into the situation further, we'll need you to contact us over the phone.
If
So
the-
they're making it
Some people got it done online. Other people had to call on the phone. But basically, if you're willing to put up enough of the stink, you should be able to get the
right, which is costing you time and energy and whatever. And I
Yes,
get that.
it
You're
sucks.
but I think Nintendo's got plenty of money, right? Like you're really going to be that difficult and like make people just do the right
I
thing
mean,
and refund it.
You're making me go hail corporate and defend Nintendo here in a
I'm not making you do
episode where
anything.
I want to factually present the truth as much as I can.
Go for it.
All these companies have all those hoops that you jump through. This is not a Nintendo thing. Does it suck? Yes. Should it be like this? No. But it's not like this is something Nintendo does that other companies don't do. They all suck and they should all stop doing
But
it.
like, I would just like to point out that like all of this is made up. We all made it all up. So if Nintendo made up the rule, Nintendo can change the rule. It's not like they're following some.
Yes, I know, but that's like a very yes, I agree. I want the rule changed and it shouldn't be like this. But
Yeah.
that's like a very like the rule stinks, get rid of the rule. Yes, in a perfect world that would be great, but this has to go through, all these legal channels and all these other people and like it's not something just like flip a switch, it's done. They're
Oh,
not,
like it would cost Nintendo time and money to make it right.
see, I agree. It should again
Oh.
100%. It should be done. I am with you. I'm just saying this is a argument we have to make for all companies because they all are a lot of companies because a lot of them suck in this regard too. It should not be. Shouldn't need to call you on the phone to get a refund. I should be able to get it online, and I shouldn't need to go through 7 different hoops to explain why I want the refund. Yes, there are people who abuse refunds, certainly, but that's not a reason to give refunds, and that's not a reason to make it so ridiculous to get them in the first place.
So what would make people more angry? Not getting a refund, or that doesn't make sense. It's not really apples to apples, but they're gonna release a physical copy, but it's only game key card.
I think
or no,
based on the-
having the censored version is the only option, or a game key card version as the uncensored copy.
based on the file size, I believe it would be able to fit on a traditional game card.
but Nintendo, they're just like, we got all these game key cards. We're gonna do it.
Man.
So how did we get into this situation? Because usually with Nintendo,
What the
it
hell's going
seems
on with
like
you guys? This is you're asking the perfect things.
thank you.
This is great.
because usually with Nintendo, they gotta do, like you said, jump through 7 hoops to get something passed or approved or whatever it is. So because the Switch was so open and free with its lack of censorship, how the heck did we get here where it seems like somebody did just turn on a switch, or in this case, turn off a switch, the dong switch? And
That
so is it one person, and are they a part of Nintendo America, and can our ambassador take them out?
That is the question we all have right now, and we have literally zero answer for it. Why is this happening at Nintendo? So
What happened?
this we saw the era of the Switch, which in my opinion, and I think I could base this up back this up with facts, was Nintendo's most censorship friendly era, as in they really didn't censor things or have things be censored. Yes, there were some things that ended up being censored, but by and large, the Switch was the platform you would go to get a game that was either banned on other systems or had censorship on other systems. And it was stellar to see, because I was like, finally, Nintendo got their shit together. They were so stupid for so many years. This is great. Then, in the last, like, let's say 6 to 8 months, there's been some things that happened where I'm like, what's going on here? Companies announce games and then they're like, actually, we can't release it anymore because whatever. And I'm like, this is awfully weird. And it would be banned on PlayStation as well. And you're like, but what's going on with Nintendo? So a little bit of here and there were things where I'm like, something's up. Then this situation happens. Hey, Darmani, this situation happens. And I'm like, what's going on? Now we are in the spot where speculation runs wild because nobody has any actual answer as to why this is happening. So here's what I can tell you. I think, based off of nothing but my own opinion, I, from the get-go, thought that Nintendo was the one causing the problem here. Unfortunately. Now we know that is the case. I also thought, I bet Nintendo has a problem with this because it's cartoonish and it's superhero. I bet they're going to say kids would be more likely to look at this, like Kid versus Cyberpunk, Kid versus
I
Witcher.
thought about that too.
Whatever. That kid look at Dispatch. It's like, look, it's a superhero. It's a cartoon. They're going to see that and they're going to be like, oh, mommy, daddy, I saw what a kid's called dicks. Wieners.
Yeah.
I saw daddy bits on the game.
Wedding tackle.
So that's my personal opinion. I have no proof or evidence to back that up. That's my personal
I thought
opinion.
about that for a while, yeah.
But I could see that being the case.
I thought about that too.
That PC, that is really funny. Long downstairs. I saw long downstairs in the game. It's very funny. So yeah, we don't know. We have no answer. But I can tell you what Kit and Krista said. They don't know what's going on with this situation, but Kit and Krista worked at Nintendo, and they said every once in a while, someone at Nintendo would get a bee in their bonnet, and they'd just be like, nope, we're not doing this. And whatever position they were in, blocked it. And they're like, that's it. They're like, literally, there can be a chance where someone on a whim is just like, nope, and it shuts it down. And it takes a ton of pushback for a whole bunch of channels at Nintendo to be like, why are we doing this?
Final
F-U.
act of defiance.
People at Nintendo being, or other people at Nintendo being like, why are we doing this? Who made this decision? How can we undo it? Why is this one person doing it? So it could very much be the case that one person in Nintendo somewhere was like, nope, not doing this. I don't want to say specifically Nintendo of America because we don't know. Now, here's where I get to talk about what Ruffalo's been talking about.
What the
Because
F, Pritchard?
The people are the goddamn worst. Devin Pritchard is the new president of Nintendo of America. Devin is a woman. So now that, okay, Devin is a woman. And
Name a
immediately
woman.
there were plenty of people who are like, oh, Nintendo's going to turn into garbage now. They got a woman president because, you know, a lot of people online and a lot of people, unfortunately, in the real world are pieces of shit. So when Devin was announced, they're like, here we go. Nintendo's going to go woke. So then we get this situation with Dispatch being censored. And they're like, Devin's first act of wokeness. Here it is. Okay.
Is that woke to censor?
Don't ask me to explain their asinine decisions. I don't know what's going on. These people don't make any sense at all. Does it make sense to me? No. I can't explain it. These people are idiots. That's all I can tell you. But Devin comes in, and now here's what happens because Devin is a woman. Anything that happens at Nintendo that people don't like when they are pieces of shit will be like, it's because of Devin, a female president. That's what's going to happen. Now, here's what I can tell you. I don't know who made this decision. If I were to find out Devin made the decision, I would be 100% against Devin. Not because she's a woman, because of I disagree what she did in the position. It has nothing to do with her being a woman. I don't care who makes the decision to censor the game. I do not like that decision, and I would be against it. So Devin, Doug Bowser, Reggie behind the scenes, Dark Gary, I don't care who it is. I don't like the decision, and the decision being made has nothing to do with the person being a woman, a man, binary, gay, black. That shit is so stupid. So I can't stand. That's all that I'm seeing a lot of that online from horrible, horrible people. And poor Devin, when she was announced as president, instantly I was like, here we go. Shitstorm for this lady because she's a lady. And now we're seeing it. But again, I can separate the fact of Devin being a woman from if Devin is the reason this happened, me being against that decision. Not because she's a woman, but because I don't like the decision. Mom Brain, do you have anything to add to any of this or anything I've said that you think came across in a poor light? Please steer me back.
Thanks for asking. Appreciate that. But no.
But first, I'm joking.
You were totally on.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah, brother. While I have just a hot minute, I also was thinking about how, I mean, it's a censorship like this from a company who, is in the public opinion. Well, I mean, whatever. There is so much disgusting fucking censorship happening in America right now that that's like a whole other dimension to this, like Nintendo, read the fucking room. Like,
by the way, Mom Brain is cursing the usual amount she does in real life. So don't think she's playing it up.
Right. Like that's like another part to me that, and I'm not saying that you should go like overboard and like just, put Mario's dick out and Peach tits everywhere.
I'm saying that.
But like, that's like another
Rosalina Weena. That's what I've heard.
Rosawina.
That's like another piece to
Draw
me,
that,
right?
Colonel.
Like we're
Luigi.
Well, that's what makes me nervous is maybe they are reading the room and
Yeah,
picking the
yeah.
wrong side of the room.
But
Yeah.
how can they read the room and then do what they're doing with Tomodachi Life? What the fuck is going on? This makes no sense.
Tomodachi Life?
Non-binary people
right.
and same-sex relationships. How? Someone make this stuff make sense to me. You're censoring dicks over here, and you're going to go non-binary and gay, okay, over here, which I'm okay with Tomodachi Life. That's what I want. But then how to on the same side or the other side of the coin
you
do
can
what you're
love
doing with
whoever
this
you
match?
want. Just don't whip it out in front of
Just
everybody.
don't show it to me. That's what it is. Yeah, right. Because you can't be like, we're worried about the woke brigade and do what you do with Tomodachi Life and then censor Dispatch.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, exactly. That's how I feel. We need an answer, and Nintendo's not going to give us one.
I don't want to just like be like an apologist or whatever. I feel like it just feels to me like there's like some lack of communication in this and like different steps.
Son of a bitch, man. You've never been more on. I will read part of Kit's statement right now because it relates to exactly what you said.
And it really grinds my gears that Nintendo's statement is just that like this is what they did, this is what they submitted, this is what they wanted to submit, and it's not our place to change it.
All right, so let me be very clear about this. I want to do Kit right.
and we support that because we support love is love.
So
you want to do Kit right, we support you.
Kit gave me his statement before the Dispatch devs went on Discord and revealed everything. So I reached out to Kit and I was like, hey Kit, I don't know if you saw AdHoc has released a statement. Let me know if you want to change your statement that you gave me or if you want to add to it, or I was like, I don't want to misrepresent you. So he got in touch with me and he said, you could just run a disclaimer that it was written before the latest revelations from AdHoc. So there you go. The thing I'm about to read you comes before AdHoc said what they said, but there is a part I want to read because it relates to what Nicky Hill said. He said the dispatch censorship story, quote, the dispatch censorship story is frustrating on so many levels. It's frustrating that Nintendo Switch owners aren't able to play the game as it was originally intended to be experienced. It's frustrating that we were given no indication that the Switch versions would be censored until they had been released. And from a perspective of someone who's worked in gaming communications for over 20 years, it's especially frustrating that neither Nintendo nor AdHoc Studio can give us a clear explanation for what led to the result. So again, that came before AdHoc what they said. But he's supremely frustrated because if he were still at Nintendo, he'd be like, this needs to be explained. How is no one explaining this stuff here? And, you know, him and Krista would be banging their head against the wall to get stuff out there. But they were the voice of reason being like, this has to be explained to some degree. This word salad response you're giving is a nothing. Like people need something because now you've taken their money and they have to struggle to get it back because they're going to get something that they didn't sign up for. So good on Kit. He's got a larger statement. I'm going to censor it. Or
You heard it here first, folks.
I'm going to, there are certain things that don't apply anymore. And he gave me permission to cut some of that stuff. So I will, but I'll put that on the site probably tomorrow. But thank you, Kit. I really appreciate that. And yes, it goes exactly in line with what you said, where Kit's like, get your shit together here, people. We have to say something.
If they don't say anything, from now on, I'm going to be like second guessing every purchase on the eShop. I'm going to be like, is this censored? Now I got to read every little fine print. I'm going to be like obsessing over this.
That's the next thing that I was going to say, because you're exactly right. I'm not playing, this isn't a bit, I mean it. When it comes to any mature game on Switch or Switch 2 now, I'm going to wonder if I buy it there, if it's going to be censored. I have already asked Capcom if Resident Evil Requiem is going to be censored, because every mature game, I'm going to wonder that about. I'm going to have to crawl through the eShop and read every little thing to make sure there's nothing in there that gives me any question before I buy this. And to be frank, I'm more likely to be like, I'll just buy it somewhere else because I can't trust it. I'm in a position where I can interview people and ask and get answers, and I'm going to do that for the audience because it's important. But I wouldn't blame somebody to be like, fuck Nintendo, I'm not even going to buy it there because I can't trust them to not censor this shit. And I don't want to spend 10, 15 minutes going through every eShop version to find, European art's censored, but North American art isn't censored. And this has a line at the bottom, but this doesn't have a line. And then buy the game and be like, well, none of this made any sense anyway. So
I have another question.
Yeah.
So Nintendo's comment is that Nintendo requires all games on its platforms to receive ratings from independent organizations and to meet our established content and platform guidelines. What does the ESRB have to say about
Isn't that
this?
a great question? Isn't that a great question? What's the point of the goddamn ESRB? I understand
to independently rate.
I understand
games,
all the
right?
platforms
To establish.
don't allow adults-only games. That's something Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo have all decided. They will never allow adults-only game rated by the ESRB, adult-only game, to be on their platform. It's their platforms. It's fine. They can conduct it however they want. I can be annoyed about how they do it, but it's their right. It's their shop. And Microsoft can do what they want with their shop. Nintendo can do what they want with their shop. But what's the point of the goddamn ESRB? Like, can we call me crazy? ESRB rates this mature. Then you're like, okay, go put it on the shop. That's fine with us. Our other rule is no adults only. Why? It's not like,
but we don't
here,
know.
ESRB, rate this. Okay, here's the rating. Oh, also, by the way, that's not good enough for us either. So then what's the point of the goddamn ESRB?
But do we know? Oh, I guess you're right. The game was rated for other systems, so it's rated for mature. Like, but does the ESRB look at Nintendo guidelines and like rate specifically for Nintendo systems then based on those guidelines? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like maybe AdHoc was dealing with the ESRB and following what the person at the ESRB's interpretation of the guidelines was, or were, whatever. It just gets weird. It just seems
it's crazy that this shit happens. And again, I understand that companies have to step in at some point. And maybe if 99% of what the ESRB rates is good, but then there's something where Nintendo or Microsoft or Sony are like, well, no, we can't do that. But call me crazy. I think the platform holders should be like, we trust in what the ESRB does, and if they rate it, teen, mature, we will abide by what they do. Call me crazy, because do we see this with movies? No, we don't see this with movies.
That's what I was just going to liken it to, like,
when does a movie go to a movie theater and it's censored based off of a
right, like, does a Nickelodeon movie get rated differently than somebody else movie?
A movie gets rated, it goes to the theater based on the rating. That's it. That's
but
how it works.
I'm wondering if there's ever an instance where a movie gets a rating and then there's like blowback and it gets re-rated or something like that. You know what I mean?
I'm sure. I don't know off the top of my head. I'm guessing that happened somewhere. Yeah.
To put into
I know,
a search engine.
there's the fight for movies will go to get rated, and a company really wants an R and it gets an NC-17, and they're like, "What's the minutia here? What could we do to?"
But
get
I'm
the
sure they
rating
have
that we want?"
guidelines and rubrics and whatever that speak to that, and you could prove.
Yeah, how is
at the end of the day,
See,
like
but
concrete.
But in that, they are. How am I trying to say this? In that, it's wide distribution. They're not distributing specifically for AMC theaters or for Regal.
Yeah.
The company's guideline, like, I don't know if there's a blanket guideline that the ESRB works under, or if they have.
They do. No, ESRB is their own
independent
thing.
of like.
Yeah, they do not kowtow to Nintendo, Sony, or Microsoft.
But then each Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo have their own guidelines too with that.
Why? Why do we have the ESRB? Because this is why. It would take the other companies too long and they'd have to pay too much money and have to employ too many people. If Nintendo had their own ESRB or Microsoft had their own ESRB, they're just like, let the other guys do it. And then, we also got our own rules and we'll step in and do stuff when we want to, because then the brunt of the work is taken off of them. They're like, all right, everybody already did all that stuff, whatever. You got to get ratings done to put out games physically anyway. So
haven't we changed over time to like, what the Motion Picture Association, right? They're the ones who rate movies. So like, haven't we changed over time what PG and PG-13 is? So like movies when we were kids that were PG are like now.
I don't know how much of it has actually changed as far as what the ratings allow versus how much it's just changed for time.
They haven't changed it, but that content was.
But does it get like re-rated or does it stay?
I don't think they've re-rated them.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, because like some of the movies that we watch that were PG, you watch it now and it's like
pre-1990 PG.
Yeah, like PC. I'm saying what I'm thinking. A PG-13 movie, you could say fuck once in it, and you still can. We saw it was in Guardians of the Galaxy Part 3. They drop an F-bomb in that movie,
right?
And that I believe is PG-13. So yeah, all that stuff is still there, but the ESR, listen, it's the platform creator there. I understand it is their environment. And while I can be upset with how they handle things, I have no right to say that they can't do what they want because it is their platform. But how about we respect the ESRB a bit more?
I think that's something that hasn't been really talked about. Maybe in this instance now.
What?
That the ESRB's involvement in this.
And their only involvement is their involvement with everything else. They did nothing wrong. They rated a game based on content and they're like, there's the rating.
And
then that's it.
Everybody would be nobody would be to blame. It would be like ESRB says it's rated this. And then it wouldn't be, then you're not second guessing.
Did the
right?
ESRB rate it? Yes, 100%.
No. Like, it's a game that was ported. So like, are they even looking at the Nintendo version?
Yes.
Because, like you said, it's still rated TV or not TVMA, mature.
I'm going to defend the ESRB here 100%. They are completely independent and they rate everything as it is.
The game was rated, not the version on the system. It's the game's rated regardless.
Well,
unless a separate version is submitted to them. But this is not a separate version.
That's what I'm saying though, because like it's so heavily censored.
They're not international PC. No.
Then why is it still? How is it rated? Yeah, how is Peggy? Like, what are the ratings there?
Peggy 18. Very good. There you go. They got different numbers over there. Yeah. It's just why
I'd love to know their opinion on this. Then I don't know about the censorship,
ESRB?
about the censorship and stuff.
They're
love
not
to
going to
know
talk about it at all.
Nintendo's opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'd love to know.
I don't
But
know
their
why
opinion- their
why
opinion
do
is
you
it
want to
was
hear
a-
about the ESRB? Their opinion is we got the game and we rated it based on the content it had. That's it. There's nothing else. They're not going to say anything else, and they don't need to say anything else. They might say like any further decisions are made by platform holders.
Mhm.
Like, if in America we followed the ESRB more closely and Microsoft, Nintendo, or Sony still have an issue with the game, then call me crazy. You just block the game completely. Nintendo could be like, no, this game doesn't fit our criteria. And instead of like all this next layer of, these changes would have to be done. Although we're not saying you're to make them. It's just like, okay, well, ESRB gave this game a mature, but we're still not comfortable with what the game is. Then your decisions are you let the game on your platform or the game doesn't go to your platform. And then, on their own, if the developer wants to do another version and resubmit it for whatever, they can do that. But let's put a little more faith in the ESRB. And when they give something a mature rating, if you tell me you're a platform that is okay with releasing mature rated games, then prove it.
Mhm.
Otherwise, say like, we're okay with mature rated games unless they're cartoons and they show dicks. Like, tell me. I'm the consumer. Tell me what these asinine rules are so I know.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Like part of me
It's
understands
crazy. This is crazy.
that, because it's a nuance. Like it's like there's it's not black and white.
There's
or
nuance,
whatever.
but movies and TV shows manage to do it all the time, and they're okay.
Right.
So
But like
Here's
the
another-
the ESRB deals with the nuance.
yeah, exactly.
They deal,
That's
and then
what
they
they're
fart
there
out the
for.
rating. Like they're the ones that sort it all
And
out.
then the platform
and
holder
then-
can decide let the game on or don't,
and
and then the
optimally,
developer can later on decide if they want to change. Don't
optimally, all the platforms say, "Thank you for rating this game. Here, consumer, decide what's right for
Yes,
you."
that's what we
And-
need. We
Well-
need Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo to come out and be like, we are fully putting our faith in the ESRB. If they give any game a early child, I don't even know if that's a thing anymore. E for everyone, all the way up to TV or all the way up to mature, we will allow it on our platform. We have all chosen not to allow adults only, but as
And-
long as the ESRB says M to E, we will allow it.
does this sort of point towards like, do we need to look at the ESRB and like should we be concerned that they're somehow falling apart
Whoa, why?
if
They've
like
got nothing to do
Nintendo
with this.
doesn't trust them and Nintendo's like
This is all the companies. This isn't just Nintendo. This is Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo. They all do this.
No, but
There's
Mhm.
ESRB does nothing wrong here.
but so for I guess that's my like frustration, right? Is like
It's the rights holder or it's the platform owner strong arming things to take even more control. And again, it's their platform. Go crazy if you want to. I'm saying, why do we have this fuss
Yeah.
about having the ESRB in the first place when you're not just going to go with what they say?
right.
yeah, it is. That's frustrating.
It's stupid.
Yeah.
And again, I very much recognize sometimes nuance is needed, and there are certain very specific situations where things might need to change. But by and large, it works. It works for TV. It works for movies, and even other countries have figured this all out. So let's let the ESRB do its thing, and all the platforms come together and say E to M, it is allowed. If it gets that rating, it is allowed. Put an extra warning on the shop. I don't give a shit. E to M, it's allowed.
I
Done.
would like for them to do what Joe Shabadoo is proposing.
Show whole.
Show whole.
I was going to read that earlier. Yeah, show whole. H for everyone. Whole for everyone.
Yeah.
That is the new rating from the ESRB.
Whole for everyone.
So I can't tell you how pissed off, I'm sure you can tell, I've been about this situation, because before I knew the specifics, I guessed that this was Nintendo doing something. Now we know specifics and we know it's Nintendo doing something. And I don't know what kind of, what's the word? Puritanical shit's going on at Nintendo right now, but something's up. There's something in the air, and we don't know if this. Now we have the question of, will this happen
there's
to all
dicks in the
mature
air,
rated
clearly.
games? Dick's out for Harambe. We don't know if this is all mature games, or is it this thing where we're like, it's
They got a problem with AdHoc?
It's a cartoon. Is that why? It's superheroes. Is that why?
Yeah, like show us your criteria for your very
And
specific.
Nintendo said in their statement, they ain't gonna
Right.
show
They
anybody.
ain't
Put that
showing
to
whole.
rest.
And Darmani, I saw you talking. You said that Good Vibes Gaming said they put a SKU that automatically adhered to Japanese censorship standards. I want to say this very clearly. I very much support Good Vibes Gaming. I love that crew. I think they do a fantastic job. I have not seen anything that has shown that any of this talk of a Japanese version has been proven true. I've seen plenty of discussion. I've seen plenty of people talking about it. I have not seen a statement from AdHoc or Nintendo that has said that any of that is actually the case. So I just wanted to point that out. Now, I haven't seen the Good Vibes Gaming thing you're talking about. I don't know if they got a statement about it. So if they did, please share it with me. Send me an email because I would love to see it. I'm just saying based on what I know, I haven't heard any of that, but I've seen all that speculation. And there was a window there where that speculation seemed more plausible, but following AdHoc's statement where they're like, we didn't want the game to be censored. There you go.
So I have another question,
Yes, question from Nicky Hill.
and trying to figure out how to ask it. So size-wise, is it possible?
The dicks are pretty
Long
big.
downstairs.
Are they two-handers? No, it's
Like a lightsaber. Show me that Kyber crystal.
like,
Wish I had. Do we have a
oh
lightsaber?
my god, I can't figure out how to say it. Just size-wise,
Don't do what Donnie Don't does.
with the release of the game. Is it possible that like
Size-wise, what do you mean?
it takes
Size-wise, what do you mean?
too much memory
The force
to
is
have
strong
a
with this
censored
one.
version, like to be able to toggle
No.
on and off
No.
that stuff?
No.
But you,
Not at all. Nope.
okay,
100%.
Good question though.
Fine question.
because
Yeah,
I feel
just-
like maybe that's a decision
Stop.
that was
Stop
made
talking
too.
about it. No, it's not a thing.
All right, I don't know.
I
don't
know.
these
It
things.
is a fair question, but do not even
It's some-
bother to peer down that rabbit hole
It's
at all
some
anymore. It's not a thing.
buttoned up suit over there with too much power and not enough eyes on them. That's
Right.
what's
And
happening.
potentially with a lapel pin that says
Oh,
Dorcas
no.
Legendary.
Malorcas.
He's talking about Reggie.
Oh.
So yeah.
Although let's not put it past Dorcas Malorcas with his little bow tie. Yeah, he's,
Yeah, Dorcas Malorcas would definitely
See,
censor.
guys,
and he's
this
sitting
is
down,
how-
and
like
he's
him,
standing,
definitely.
He's standing around right now with his thumbs and his suspenders going, yeah, I did that.
This
That's
is
what they
how
do.
all the rumors start.
Mother will be pleased.
Mother, I hid the penises from everyone. Don't worry. Now Mother, you only see my penis.
Now, another question too. Sorry, you were about to say something else. And I already know the answer, but I just want to throw it out there. If they weren't black boxes censoring and it was like a pixelization or something like that,
I don't fucking want any of it.
because
I don't want-
I don't want
Pixelated
pixelated
penis.
dick.
I don't want black box dick.
What
I
if-
want
what if
full
they're-
dong.
What if they were just 8-bit dicks?
Yeah, Darmani, I want to.
Like
If
like,
that was an artistic choice, then that's one
like
thing.
full-
if
But
it was
if
an artistic choice,
Which
all right,
I
hold
thought
on,
in the beginning it might have been.
Hold on one second, Darmani. I just want you to know, no ill will meant towards you or anything like that at all, Darmani. It's a fair point to bring up. I just wanted to address it. I didn't want it to seem like I was upset with you or anything at all. I'm not. But yes, fair point to bring up. But anyway, go ahead, guys. 8-bit mosaic dicks, yes.
yeah, like everything is like full res.
Deux
and then
said
the
perfect
privates.
answer. If that was their artistic choice, then yeah,
Yeah.
go for it, 100%. Now go ahead. Deux.
Just
You
think
got
about that for the future AdHoc. I think it would be
some
fun.
AdHoc.
What?
Hey,
God.
hey, AdHoc. How about we add cock to the Switch version of Dispatch? You were gonna say
I wish
something.
we had a
too?
slide whistle.
Nah, it was just going to be a joke. So
All right. Well, if opportunity arises,
Thank
and
you.
you can-
Arises.
Oh, AdHoc.
if the opportunity pops up, and you'd like to pull a boner, people still call that. That's what a joke is, a boner, a prank. That's why that kid was named Boner, and
Really?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
why. Wasn't because he was crushing ass every weekend.
Wait, what show is that?
Growing Pains. Oh my God, and that means boner too. Leonardo DiCaprio's name was Boner, or they called him Boner. in the
Cock
show.
Cameron was the guy in that show, right?
And that's why his father's name was Alan Thicke.
Ben.
Wow.
This is good. This is really good stuff. We're giving out gold here, people.
Did you say Leonardo DiCaprio?
Oh! Oh man, that's good. So that's the
Tentavision said it too. Thank you, Tentavision.
that's the
Sorry
other thing I wanted to say. This is so disappointing on a completely different level. Censorship is disappointing in general, but it's so disappointing specifically for Dispatch because, again, I will stress this as the person on social media claimed, I'm not a quote fucking prude, end quote. I don't have any problems with games that just have naked men or women in it just because they're naked and they're meant to titillate. That's fine. I literally own and have played some of those games. It is 100% fine in my eyes.
On the uncensored version, should we show the
Oh, we can't do that. No, YouTube's rules wouldn't allow it. I mean, you can put it into Discord if you want. Because it's got a friend in it. We shouldn't do that.
Is it a problem with the actual podcast audio version too, though? The censorship? Like, are we going to get in trouble now?
I don't think so. No, I don't know any platform that
There's
does
a reason that we weren't cussing for
Oh yeah, that like the radio. Yeah, forget it.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
but,
right. And then we just kept it pure.
What was I saying? Oh, that's why this Dispatch situation is so disappointing to me. Because again, I'm fine with titillation for the point of titillation, but
Tell me about it.
in Dispatch, it is the nudity and sexual content and sexual jokes and whatever, even the middle finger. All that stuff is there in service of the story and the characters. It's not just meant to. It's not meant to titillate the audience at all. And I would love to talk in detail, but I don't want to spoil because Mom Brain's not finished and Nicky Hill hasn't played. But there are story beats in Dispatch where there are things that involve sexual content or nudity that directly relate or impact the story. There are very poignant moments in the story that involve nudity where it's a very heartfelt, serious, like emotionally open thing that goes on.
Not to mention gameplay, right? Where you have to stick the round dick in the hole or the triangle dick in the hole. And if you can't see what there are,
no spoilers.
I'm thinking of a very specific moment in the game
In
where
a locker room.
No.
And in office.
Yes, where
well, that's played as a joke, but
you have an option to say something to somebody about it, like a wardrobe malfunction.
So when you play it on Switch, you see a black box.
Yeah,
and you just have to infer
so how
what's
would
going
you know
on.
what to say?
I'm talking about a scene in a locker room later on with two characters where one emotionally opens up to the other to show something, and I was like, this is a really like intimate, beautiful, like open moment. I really loved the way that was done. And you watch that on Switch and it's all black boxes. It's makes me so pissed off because it like above all of that, Dispatch is such an amazing game and so well written, so well acted. There's no part of that game that feels out of place. There's nothing that feels wrong. There's nothing that feels like it's a waste. Like everything is meticulous. They took 7 years to make this and have created an unbelievable piece of art. And there are moments when now that stuff is censored. And I want to stress this. If you're uncomfortable seeing that stuff, that is fine. I am not knocking you at all. If you want to play with visual censorship or audio censorship, that is fine too.
But
there's nothing wrong with that.
The option to turn it on
That's
and off.
what's crazy. Just the option should be there.
The option should be there. That is all I'm asking. And like I said, I don't care if it's on by default. I don't care if I have to go in the menu and turn it off. Just allow me the option to do it. I don't care. Load it up the ass with warnings. I turn on the game, giant warning. Before I get to the title, giant warning. When I'm doing my options, giant warning. Make it crazy. I don't care.
Start the game. Giant penis.
Give me the warning and then allow me the option. Call me crazy. I'm buying a mature game and you shouldn't be under 17 buying it or playing it. Let me decide to do the censorship if I want.
It's just also crazy. The whole thing is so baffling. I mean, we talked about this before, but you boot up Cyberpunk and you pick your junk. Like, I just don't. It's just crazy.
And then that's the whole question too. We don't know, like, again, why Cyberpunk is okay and why Witcher 3 is okay and why hentai games are okay and why other games with nudity are okay. And I need to stress this again. I'm not saying they shouldn't be okay. I'm trying to see why Dispatch isn't okay. What the hell's going on with Dispatch that it isn't okay? You get a game I would argue it handles nudity and sexual content better than the vast majority of games that have that kind of content, and I'm still fine with all those games having it. I need to know why Dispatch was the one. Why is Dispatch the canary in the coal mine? Why is Dispatch the one where you're like, no middle finger, no dicks, no boobs, no?
It's a shame. It's a shame because it's gonna hurt the game.
It's like Nintendo saw a game that is very mature and very highly rated and handles everything like perfectly, and they're like, this is the game right here. This is the one where we're going to stake our claim where this isn't allowed. It's like you could not have picked a more worse game to do this with. Like you could not be more wrong about this, but they did it.
I'm sorry. I'm just throwing this out there. Crazy Colonel, you work so hard. Your artwork is great.
We're going to be working hard.
If you want to take this weekend off, just draw a big old censor bar and then over everything.
I was gonna say I hope they draw like an extremely graphic
veiny
picture. Yeah, like something very
because
graphic.
I could post. Listen, here's the thing.
AdHoc
I'm the platform holder. I could post that on GoNintendo, no problem. I couldn't post it on other social media platforms. I couldn't do YouTube. I couldn't do. So I could probably get away with it on X because
you'd have to put a censored version out.
I couldn't do it on Facebook. I would have to do a censored version. That is correct.
Here's
but on GoNintendo, as a platform holder, uncensored.
Here's a question: Has anyone speculated that this is a problem that Nintendo has with AdHoc? Like, do they got beef with AdHoc? And
so you're saying, do they have beef with AdHoc? And also, based on that, you would assume AdHoc doesn't know that they have beef with them? Because if I were a company making a game and I found out a company had beef with us, I'd be like, well, then you're not getting my game.
Well,
why would that'd be so unprofessional of Nintendo? I don't know why they would do that. That'd be, in my opinion, even worse if Nintendo was like,
I'm just trying to figure out why the heck they did this. Why the fuck they did this? I forgot I could swear.
Listen, I don't know for sure. I think what you're suggesting is
pretty
99% incorrect. I cannot see that being the case because that is gross misconduct, and that should be like legally gone after.
I have no.
Yeah, Mom Brain
I'm not
is
standing on anything.
Speaking at her butt right now, but she's guessing because she's so annoyed by the situation. She's trying to figure out an answer for it, and that's what everybody's doing. So many people are very frustrated with the situation that we're all trying to figure out what's going on. And I've been a lifelong Nintendo fan, and I've covered Nintendo professionally for 20 plus years, and I don't have an answer for you. And literally Kit and Krista, who worked for Nintendo for years, do not have an answer because they can't understand it either. So people who have covered Nintendo all their life, been Nintendo fan or all their life as well, and people that worked at Nintendo, we can't give you any answer as to what's going on. And Nintendo's one statement is their usual corporate PR bullshit word salad stuff. And I think in reality, it's actually a little bit worse because I personally read it as them trying to be like, it's not us, where it's 100% them. So yes, AdHoc made the decision to censor to get the game on the platform, but they did that because Nintendo was not going to allow it on the platform if they didn't do it.
That's what I have to say.
So I think we've covered everything. I think that's all there is to say. Anybody else have something to throw in here?
Yeah, what'd you write on Patreon this week?
Oh, we'll do that. Yeah. I want to say a big thank you to AdHoc for being so open, responsive, helpful. They didn't know me from anybody 2 weeks ago, and they respected me just like any other outlet. That is wonderful. As much as I am pissed off at Nintendo now, and it is going to impact, it's not going to impact how I cover news. My job is to cover the news. You will get 100% the same news. It certainly impacts how I feel about Nintendo, and it will impact opinion pieces going forward of my own. But I do want to thank Nintendo's PR people for getting back to me with responses. They're the go-betweens, and I appreciate it, and that means a lot. And
they're probably very busy right now.
A respectful approach to this relationship going forward because I respect their PR statements. My opinion, as far as my opinion goes, I don't like it. I think it's bullshit, but I respect the working relationship. So hopefully they can keep things professional, as I will. And if you want to go out there and say bad shit about me, go right ahead. That's your right. But thank you to Nintendo's PR people for getting me the statement. And as I said, unbelievably shocking that we got the statement first. I want to give another thank you to everyone who's been linking all of our stories about this. Thank you for putting your support behind me. It means a lot. Like to have this go on 20 plus years after I've been doing the site. I only do GoNintendo as a living because I can maintain a living doing it. I will always have a passion for video games, but as a profession, I can only do it because people read what I'm putting out there, and people continue to do that. But to what's happened this week, it shows how far of a reach we still have, which is mind-boggling. So thank you to every site reader, every social media follower, everyone on Patreon, everyone on any
For
platform you get
$1.
GoNintendo stuff, the Patreon or the podcast listeners, subscribers. Thank you so much. It means-
Pornhub,
uh,
the GoNintendo Pornhub.
are you running that?
No.
Thank you so much. Without you guys doing that, I wouldn't be doing the site. I wouldn't be doing this podcast. I would have never been able to be in a position to get a statement from Nintendo. They would have, it wouldn't be possible. I would have never been able to get a statement from AdHoc. This is only possible through everything that you guys have done. Hi, Blinded by Daylight. Good to see you. So thank you so much. Also, an equal thank you goes to tons of game outlets out there this week, because you credited and sourced us with our statements because we were getting things that nobody else was getting. So thank you so much. I don't want to make this like a here's who did it, who didn't, but you know who you are. I will say this. I go through a certain routine every single day. I read every game website under the sun and keep track of them. If you sourced our articles and comments and all that and linked us, I reached out to you 100%. I reached out to you through social media. I reached out to you through email. I reached out to you through comments on your website. One way or another, I reached out to you to thank you, to let you know that I really appreciate you trusting us and really appreciate your credit and running our stories or sourcing our stories. So I reached out to you one way or another. So it means a lot to me. And it's very important that I recognize that kind of stuff. So thank you so much. And we're talking about outlets from small to literally as big as you can get. Thank you very much for linking us and sourcing us, because as people who work in the game industry, at least coverage goes, sourcing is very difficult to get people to do. And sourcing by a lot of outlets is mostly ignored or done extremely poorly. I started out doing sourcing extremely poorly, and I learned as the years went on, and I take it more and more seriously as I go on and try and source as much as I possibly can to make sure everybody is happy with how they're sourced. And if you're not, just let me know and I'll update the story. So it's very important. Thank you so much to the outlets that did it. Very, very, very much appreciated. The story's not over. Who knows what's going to happen this week? There's things I can't talk about. I don't even know what to say. I'm not going to say anything. It's not about Dispatch or AdHoc or anything like that. Just I'll keep you informed as we go on, but I got, interview questions out there. I got statement requests out there. We'll see what happens. I really don't think Nintendo's going to put out a statement. We'll see what happens with this removal of some censorship on Dispatch on Switch. We'll see how far it goes. I think AdHoc might have said some, because they're not sure how far they can go yet. So keep your fingers crossed. Maybe they can go as far as the other platforms did. Like, I don't know. I said to Mom Brain just outside of the show, I was like, I bet Nintendo lets the boobs, but they don't let the dicks. I bet maybe they'll go pixelated dicks, but I think they'll do boobs, and they're like, no, we can't do dicks. And then you're going to be like, we'll be here again. We'll be like, why are cyberpunk dicks okay? And superhero dicks aren't.
You said there's also audio changes too. They take out full audio lines and the whole thing.
I'm upset about the dicks being censored. I'm upset about the boobs being censored. I'm really upset about the middle finger being censored, because that's just really stupid. But the one that bothers me the most is the audio. So there's a sex scene in the game. I won't get into specifics, but you hear one of the characters moaning. You saw the sex scene.
Mona.
And
I actually question. Well, never mind. I won't. I don't want to ruin it.
And in that scene, in the Switch version, there was nothing at first. The AdHoc has since added in, like, I think they said they added in music or ambient noise just to make it, something there. Yeah. But yeah, in the Switch version, you didn't hear anything. You just watch well, I'm not gonna say, but you just don't hear anything. And I was like, this is
You're taking a meat. You're taking a pasta. You're taking a cheese.
So thankfully, you could. That's at the beginning of one of the chapters. So I jumped right to that chapter because I was like, how badly censored is this going to be? And the black boxes were there, and I was like, yeah, of course they are. But then I was like, there's no audio here. I was like, this is crazy. Now just
Which
somebody
is really awkward.
now just somebody moaning. They're going to take out the audio for that.
Just complete silence.
But again, as Nicky Hill pointed out, that may have been a case of AdHoc being like, well, rather than like try and guess and go through submissions all over again, we'll just take all of it out. So this could be right now the wiggle room where Nintendo's like, no, these things are okay, but this isn't okay. And AdHoc's like, okay. And this could have been, again, speculation, opinion, we don't know. But I like your thought of AdHoc being like, let's just not go through 7 different submission processes. Let's just err extremely on the side of caution and take all that out. So
AdHoc, more like subtract cock.
Right.
Wow.
guys, this is our greatest show ever. This is our greatest show ever.
Incredible!
Right, PC. How's somebody supposed to jerk off to that? The censorship scene we were talking about earlier. I think we can talk about that.
That's not.
I'm only thinking about not talking about it just because it's a fun moment in the
It's
game.
a fun moment. I would say don't talk about it. It's
But it is a moment where directly what you do in the game is tied to what is censored in the Switch version. So you're just going to have, you see the black box, you'll be able to surmise what's going on. But the part of the enjoyment of that scene is
you would
part
necessarily.
That's true. Part of the enjoyment of that scene is watching the scene play out, and you're like, am I seeing what I'm thinking?
Yeah,
I'm
like
seeing?
that's what I'm saying.
And then
Like,
you
I don't
make a response based on that. So in the Switch version, it's like, something's going on right off the bat. I guess you just have to guess what it is.
Well,
And then I guess
when you have the
text
option,
comes up,
you'll
yeah.
be able to tell.
So you're gonna-
then, but
you're gonna have it ruined from the beginning because you know something's going on, and then you're gonna have it reverse engineered what's going on, and you're like, well, I guess I can tell what's going on here.
What's funny is while that scene plays uncensored, you're kind of not paying attention to what's happening because you're like, wait,
You're exactly right.
and like that's exactly what's going to happen
'Cause
when someone
they-
plays it censored because
yeah.
they won't be
That
able
character turns around and they're walking towards you, and I'm like, what's this? And then so it's a great scene. It's a great scene.
Yeah. And then we have this other potential future where Nintendo just pulls off all the stops and
pulls off
and-
all the stops. That
and-
was very
and-
funny.
You pull them off or pull
Yanks
them out?
off. Yanks off.
and like even another big reveal this week that completely got
I have a
overshadowed by
feeling-
this.
Oh.
That like in Mario
I
Super
was gonna
Mario
say, I have a feeling
Galaxy,
we're going into joke territory.
the
now.
movie, it's going to be more like Super Mario Galaxy, or
I hear they censored Yoshi's tongue in the movie.
it comes out of a different area.
No, it's just too sexual.
Oh, Yoshi's got a red rocket.
So yeah, going forward, listen, my personal buying habits on Nintendo's platforms, the Switch 2, is going to be different when it comes to mature content. Deux knows I have been saying for weeks, day and date, Resident Evil Requiem, Switch 2. That is where I'm buying it. Now, I don't know. I need an answer from Capcom because I don't
Yeah.
know. And it's
We
going
need
to
see
continue on.
Leon
And Nintendo better
full
put out
frontal.
some kind of statement and be like, here's what I would love. Nintendo be like, I'm going to shorten this a lot. And Nintendo comes out and says, my bad. We won't do that anymore. Sorry about that. And don't worry about it going forward. But that's never going to happen. So going forward, it's going to be like, are we back in the Super Nintendo days? Like if this game has a cross, is this going to be censored? Or like any religious references are going to be gone? Or blood is going to be turned gray now? And you could call that, going way too far with it. But my counterpoint is boobs, dicks, middle finger, moaning noises. They're all censored. Where am I supposed to know where Nintendo's going to draw the line when it seems like Nintendo doesn't know either? So
Well, or they do know, and they're not willing to tell you where their lines are drawn because they won't share
they
their
outright
criteria.
said they're not going to say
What
it.
was the game? I don't even remember what it was. It was Wii, or
Leisure Suit
GameCube,
Larry.
where
Odama.
when you killed an enemy, they turned into like or no, that
Geist.
We're walking.
no, maybe it was just
This is like I'm talking to my dad. You're going backwards, and we still don't know what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
no, I'm like my brain's still working on it. It may have just been like Zelda, like Twilight Princess. It was like more realistic, but then when you killed a character, they just exploded into a puff of purple smoke instead of but that's their own
I thought you were
game.
talking about Killer 7 because they pop off into pixelated bodies when they explode, but
did
you
the
also
other
shoot them and the
systems
guy
do
goes,
that?
"You're fucked." Yeah, everybody
Nice,
does
you
it.
can finally say that.
That's right. Well, a line I loved it. I've been waiting to quote forever.
Was there a more recent? I thought there was a more recent
Zelda games are often
censorship-
heavily censored.
No, but I thought there was a more recent censorship where it wasn't on other games, but then on the Nintendo game they died and like they just puffed off into like a purple dust or something.
Nothing is coming to mind.
Yeah,
I'm not
and
saying you're wrong.
So
I'm
many
just saying
games have
nothing's
come
coming to
out
mind.
since the Wii. I think it was maybe even Wii.
Manhunt was censored on Wii.
Oh, 10 Division says L-bits.
L-bits, yes. I'm surprised you didn't remember that. Yeah, there was that whole debacle with Manhunt on the Wii where it was censored.
Oh, I do remember that. Yeah.
But
it was
then,
still released.
Nintendo started to go the other direction, and we got
Mad World.
Mad World. I
Oh,
was trying to think of the
yeah.
name of
But
the game.
again, that was artistic, right?
Yeah, thank God.
Black and white.
Yeah, but it's cartoony.
And also, they really wanted Greg Proops to be on the system, so
If
they
you
were
put in
like, "We'll
Proops,
do
we
whatever.
won't."
Oh, show as much blood as you want, as long as we get that."
Put in proofs, and it won't be censored.
Yeah,
Yep, that's what it was. He was real hot back then. All the gamers were clamoring for Greg Proops to be in a game. So, listen, I love Greg.
Greg
but-
Proops commentary.
All right. I think that's good. I think we did it all. Hopefully you feel at least somewhat more informed when you were beforehand, or maybe you've been following along with every step and it was just a nice bit of venting to hear, because I'm sure many of you are feeling the same frustrations that we are. I am livid about this situation. I am absolutely livid. I am embarrassed for the first time in my life. I am embarrassed to be a Nintendo fan. Completely embarrassed by this situation. So we'll see where it goes.
Blinded by Light says gone.
Daylight.
Blinded by Daylight says gone Nintendong.
Okay,
And
April Fool's Day.
I think that would be a
Change
great
it.
banner to change. Yeah.
Somebody buy that domain right now.
I don't got that
For
money.
$1?
Oh, I was hoping you went the way I wanted you to go. Let me try that again. I'll do it with more emphasis. Somebody buy that domain right now.
Domain expansion.
Domain expansion. Oh, thank you, Quince. It's not over yet, Quince. But what are you doing here? Get the hell out. You already covered the site. Quince, thank you again for your Donkey Kong picture and making that dream come true. All right. Really, I don't give a shit about the rest of the news today. We'll do the Patreon stuff just for some fun. We will, of course, do sweet releases because that's a necessity. But it's Quince, that's funny. But I will. We're just gonna take it easy because listen, AdHoc, Dispatch, Nintendo. That was the important thing to talk about today. And I'm spent and I'm frustrated. And we'll get back to a normal show next week as long as other crazy shit doesn't happen. But go read the top stories. You know what's up. I'll tell you very quickly. Rumor of a Nintendo Direct partner showcase this coming week. That's the big thing. We'll see what happens. Go read the top stories. There was a whole bunch of stuff this week, but that's that. But Mom Brain,
Yes.
did you know that you could join the GoNintendo Patreon?
For $1.
For $1. You want to know how goddamn stupid I am? I was thinking so much about the Dispatch stuff that I didn't even write down the Patreon stuff that I wrote this week. My own notes are garbage. Can I log in on my phone? I can't. Son of a butthole. You want to... Oh, and I can't go on my desktop because I got the internet here. What am I
Can I do?
going to do? Trying to think. I don't want to bring it up on my laptop because if I...
Do you want to use my computer?
No, that wouldn't help. What could I do? What could I do?
We'll work it out. I just want to sit.
Because I'd need to know my login and I don't know it off the
work
top
it
of my
out.
head.
I'm going to go ahead and say something from the top.
You want to do
news.
3 releases?
I'm going to talk about.
All
top
right. You
news
know
for a
what?
second.
Whatever. This show is off the rails anyway. You go right ahead.
I just want to say that there's a
What are the next?
Not now, Josh.
one of the top stories was that there's a survey showing that Switch 2 owners are buying game key cards despite online pushback.
You know, if there's one story for you of all people to zero
It's just
in on,
funny
the
that like I
game key
brought
card
it
one.
up. I brought it up during all that conversation, and people are buying them.
I got it. I'm all good.
Good, because I can't read any of this.
Yeah, there was a
This
survey.
internet jargon.
Over 1,000
here.
people on the survey asking them if they buy game key cards.
And
what they
survey
own.
says,
And what's the percentage there?
top game sold is potato salad. Turkey. What's the percentage? Where do I even see?
Now you're gonna make me go over to the story. This was the whole-
735 users own one or more game key card titles.
What's that? 70% roughly out of 1,000 people. That makes sense. That's how
Sure.
numbers work.
It's 735 out of 1,070. That's what it is.
So
percentage wise,
roughly 70%.
repeating of
So
course.
70% of people in that survey, 1,000 people, decent sample size, not great, but decent sample size, bought at least one game key card. So it shows, it makes you think that, there's a lot of pushback online. Some of those people might be, keyboard warriors online, and
I mean,
they
my
go to the
question
store
is,
and buy the game. And,
I are these people who are purchasing happy with their choice, or did they buy it and then realize it was a game key card?
well, yeah, it sounds like we got to do a survey. The 24th.
Turkey.
Okay. Okay. All right.
A food oven
here's-
stuffed.
Here's what here's what I talked about on Patreon this week. Let's talk about nice stuff. I talked about the upcoming return of the Muppet Show. I think Sabrina Carpenter is a great celebrity to bring back the one-off return that they're doing. If this is successful, they're going to look into bringing back the Muppet Show more regularly. But they put out like the full-length trailer for the Muppet Show's return. I thought it was exactly the kind of humor I want from the Muppets because it actually makes me laugh. It's a whole bunch of people who are taking the Muppets seriously, which I love. I thought everything about it felt exactly like the Muppet Show used to be. Again, it's a trailer, but the trailer was fantastic. Day one, I am there watching it. It looks great.
Is it they're releasing a special?
It is a special full return of the Muppet Show, like one brand new episode of the Muppet Show. But if it does well, they're going to bring back the Muppet Show. So, but it looks really, the trailer, it's pitch perfect. Like I couldn't ask for a better trailer. It legitimately made me laugh multiple times. It made me like feel emotional because it's the Muppets and they're great. How can you not love the Muppets? It's a great trailer. So I'm there day one. I really, really like that trailer. And I think Sabrina Carpenter's really funny. I think she's a great fit for a celebrity. And she's an actor too. So perfect. Plus she's getting that Disney money because she's going to be Alice in Wonderland. So corporate synergy.
They're redoing Alice in Wonderland again?
They're doing everything that's a cartoon or making it live action.
No, they already did live action with Tim Burton. That's what's crazy.
The Alice in Wonderland.
Disney did? Was that a Disney thing? I don't remember.
It had to have been. Maybe not.
Well, yeah, because it's not a Disney.
It's not.
Alice in Wonderland is public domain.
Is it now?
I'm pretty sure.
Okay, I don't know.
Who knows?
But the television special with John Stamos and like a ton of other like celebrities, Alice in Wonderland.
Oh,
and
I know
Alice
what
Through
you're
the
talking
Looking
about.
Glass.
It's like the Muppet Show.
Are like
is Jeff Goldblum in that or something?
He might be.
Who's the caterpillar in that?
Chef Goldblum is in it.
It was the Jabberwocky used to scare the shit out of me as a kid. Like that show scared. Was it Carol Channing? She the weird one?
She's weird.
She turns into a sheep, but she's like, or like it's a little sheep. She's like better,
That's lamb chop.
better, and it's terrifying.
Yeesh.
I also talked about.
But wait, just a quick question. Do we know? I guess I could look this up myself, but I have people. Does Disney own the Jim Henson Creature Shop, or just the Muppets?
Specifically, that Jim Henson is under Disney, as far as I know. I could be wrong
Because you're talking about that, and I really loved Dark Crystal, Age of Resistance, right?
Age of
what it's called?
Innocence,
Yeah.
Age of Imprisonment.
Decris.
And Netflix was like, we're done. We're not making a second season, but I'm wondering if Disney could. But
I don't know. I also talked about the game you last played that really made an impact on you, like something that you played where you're like, that's going to stick with me for years to come, or that fundamentally changed how I feel about something. I want to see what games you guys played that have made you think like that. So we were talking about that. I most recently chose Dispatch because that one really left an impact on me, and there's certain story beats and things that are explored in that game that will paint how I look at certain situations going forward. It's that kind of game. So I wrote about that. I also talked about my excitement for the Virtual Boy return. Today Quench posted a story today that the Virtual Boy is officially sold out, which is the first time that has ever happened. So if you're trying to go buy a Virtual Boy on the My Nintendo Shop, It's gone, at least in America. It's gone. February 17th, the app is launching, and we will have our either plastic or cardboard versions of the Virtual Boy before that app launches. And this week, we got a new trailer showing us what to expect. So excited. So they showed the games you're going to get at launch. Virtual Boy Wario Land is there. I forget. A Terralo Boxer is there. You know, I want to say it's a who's who of Virtual Boy games, but there's like 13 of them. So there's a whole bunch of good ones. But the real shocker
They're
was
all going live at the same time, or
no. A decent chunk at first is going live. But I'll go over to the.
But they're all heavily censored.
I'm
kidding.
I should have said that. I'm sorry. Very censored.
Just kidding.
So the games available at launch will be Telero Boxer, Galactic Pinball, Red Alarm, Golf. I've never played. I want to play this golf one so bad. Virtual Boy Wario Land, 3D Tetris, which I own, and The Mansion of Innsmouth, which I've never played, which looks awesome. Later in this year is Mario Clash, Mario's Tennis, Jack Bros, Space Invaders Virtual Collection, Virtual Bowling, Vertical
Jack
Force.
Bros comes out after they release an uncensored version of Dispatch.
Jack Bros comes first, followed by Off Bros. V Tetris is coming, and then here's the real shocker. See, Nintendo, this is why I love you. Why you got to do things to make me really not like you. They also announced that 2 unreleased Virtual Boy games are coming out. D-Hopper, which looks for Dick, which looks like if anybody's played Jumping Flash on the original PlayStation, this looks like, it reminds me of Jumping Flash. It looks like that. You're some kind of rabbit robot thing that like hops up in the air to jump up higher on different platforms. It looks really cool. I really like it. And then perhaps even more shocking, Zero Racers, which is an unreleased F-Zero game for the Virtual Boy. So really cool stuff.
Man,
there.
I imagine I'm expecting extra eye bleed from that one.
Well, don't, because later this year they are updating the Virtual Boy app to allow you to change the color.
Wow.
They showed, I want to say they showed yellow, they showed green, they showed traditional Game Boy like black and white. So grayscale or whatever you want to call it. So there will be options that may make your eyes bleed less. So that's really cool, but that's later in 2026. So again, you get 7 games at launch. Comes out February 17th, part of Switch Online expansion pack. You can get it, you can play it on Switch or Switch 2. And the accessory, I'm sorry, is sold out, which is crazy that in the year of our Lord 2026, Nintendo can say the Virtual Boy sold out. What a crazy time to be alive.
It's not crazy though. You knew it was going to sell out. I could have told. I think I did tell you when it was announced that it would sell out. So
well, and but it's crazy because it's the Virtual Boy to go from something that sold so shittily to now sold out. We don't know how many they did. I don't really know how. I have no guess as to how many they're actually putting out there. I can't even imagine it's anywhere close to 1 million. I'd say like worldwide, like Jesus, I don't know. 200,000.
They'll release more probably, right? This is.
I'm sure they will do more. Yes. So that's really cool. And as a Virtual Boy fan, it's nice to see the system get some time in the sun, especially the sunlight, because that's what it's like playing Virtual Boy. You look up at the sun and it hurts your eyes, and that's like Virtual Boy. I also talked about, and we will keep the spoiler free, but actually, I would like to pee. I'm going to listen to you do
me.
Because this is something you can actually talk about. I will be listening because I want to talk about it too. Wonder Man. Wonder Man came out. I've watched the whole series. Deux has watched the whole series. We both think it is fantastic, but I know people think I'm just a Marvel fanboy, so I'll let Deux talk about it and share his thoughts. Please try and stay away from spoilers. Please. Now I go pee.
Sure.
Nintendo, I will be pulling my dick out of my pants to go pee, and I will be touching it. So get ready.
Well, touch it
He
quick.
may shake it more than twice, which means he is playing with it.
Yeah, Wonder Man's great. I recommend Wonder Man to everybody. Doesn't matter if you're into superheroes or if you're sick of superheroes or if you've never heard of a superhero before. It's just a great show, great writing, characters that you can immediately align with and enjoy watching on screen, and they put him in some wacky situations, and it never feels too wacky. I just really, I was surprised at how much I personally related to the show as well. There's a bunch of the show's got it all. It's got comedy, but it's got heart, and I think it addresses a lot of emotional things that I related to on a personal level. So I just absolutely loved the show. It might have been my favorite Marvel show that they've put out yet. I liked it that much. I devoured it. And yeah, you don't have to know anything going into it. You don't even have to really watch Iron Man 3 or anything to get Ben Kingsley's character. I mean, it helps, but like they have it all there in a nice package for you, and it's well shot. I mean, it looks great. It's really something. I can't talk it up enough. I thought the length was perfect too. I do want more, but yeah, I loved Wonder Man, and I couldn't stop watching it. And I'm glad that I'm glad that they put it all out at once. I love to most of the time binge a show if I can, and I don't know. For me personally, I end up like if I like the show and I can binge it, I end up liking it more. I don't know if I don't know how that makes sense, but if I had to watch this like week after week, it just wouldn't have had the same impact on me. So I appreciated being able to just take it at my own pace, which was breakneck speed. And yeah, thanks RMC for giving me the opportunity to talk about it, because like I said, I loved Wonder Man. Please watch Wonder Man.
It is so good, and like you said, heartfelt and funny and serious, and really finds a way to connect with the audience. The relationship between Ben Kingsley and Yaya is so good. Like, they're just such a joy to watch together. And Yaya's pretty much the straight man to Ben Kingsley's comedian, and they work so well together. So many things legitimately made me laugh out loud, and there were moments I got teary-eyed. There were moments where I was like, I was like, man, this is really just beautiful. This is just really nice. It's just, what a fantastic show. 8 episodes and it's over. The episodes are like roughly a half
That's
hour.
it?
They're
It's
like
just one
34
season?
minutes so far. I don't
I
know.
know it's
One
Marvel
episode was
Spotlight.
20.
I know it's Marvel Spotlight, so it's
Yeah. I
like,
mean,
it's adjacent kind of.
the
It's
word of
still-
mouth on this one and the buzz it's getting from like critics is helping it to take off, because there are a lot of critics who don't like Marvel or haven't liked Marvel in a very long time, and they're being very upfront with trumpeting this series.
So I'm only 4 episodes in so far.
So you watched, arguably, I don't even want to talk about
Yeah,
it
don't.
because then people are going to be like waiting for the one episode.
Yeah.
But there was one particular episode that I thought was maybe the best,
Yeah.
one of the best episodes of television I've ever
So good.
seen.
Well, the funny thing is, I saw on social media there was an article that I won't even talk about, but it was like questioning something, the disappearance of a Hollywood actor.
Oh, yeah.
And I saw that, and I was like, oh, I wonder, I guess I haven't heard from him in a while. But then I watched
He's
that
doing the
episode.
Mel Brooks. He's doing Spaceballs.
And I watched the episode, one of the episodes, and I was like, oh, I guess that's breaking the fourth wall or whatever.
That episode was so good.
But like, I think the cameos are great.
They are. Oh my god!
I
I thought
think
we could talk about it afterwards.
I said
but
to do that, and it's not 100%, but there's something about Ben Kingsley and the way the character's written and the way he's playing it. It's very much like Martin Short in Only Murders,
sure.
where it's just like this exaggerated version of himself or whatever.
Yeah.
He's just like dropping names, constant, like always looking to be like, oh,
Yeah.
when I did this in Shakespeare, and it's just like, man, it's just funny.
But then he's
And-
got moments where like he's very serious and very like warm and very.
I love his
man.
his take on acting is like, it's very important, where like, there's some people who are like, acting's not important,
Yeah.
and like the way he looks at it is
The most important thing you can ever do.
yeah.
You
it's
know
so
what I
great.
think they did that is so hard, in my opinion, is to draw attention to acting and how much of a difference good acting can make in a show, because they show you like differences in line delivery and dialogue delivery and stuff. And when that's really difficult to draw attention to that and then deliver in a performance where the audience is supposed to be like, wow, that was really good. And they do that in that show.
Yeah.
There are scenes where I'm like, man, they're like really killing it here.
That's
I
like
love that.
when Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Leonardo DiCaprio, like you see him acting poorly and then you see him acting well.
Yeah.
And he's acting the whole time.
It's
He's
it's an
acting
incredible performance.
and the other thing that I wanted to bring up to you, because I watched 2 seasons of Wednesday over the past month or so.
Well, there's only 2 seasons of it.
And in the second season, there's like a Freaky Friday situation.
Freaky
And-
Friday on Wednesday?
Yeah. And that I think is an incredible feat when an actor is playing another person inside of your own body so it's like you're, as the actor, you have to pretend to be the other person, but also be the other person within your, like, awkwardly in your own body. It's like,
Yeah, John Travolta and Nick Cage crushed it.
yeah. Which is also, it's going to be on Criterion Channel.
That's so funny.
But anyway,
Collection.
well, no, the channel.
Oh, my apologies.
It's not actual Criterion, but it's just
Oh,
going to be
not
on the
good enough.
They're
Criterion
not
Channel.
collecting it there.
So yeah, watch it.
No, but I really like the writing, and I also like that it goes back, for me, it goes back to the Marvel's like roots or whatever of, yes, they're superheroes. Yes, there's things going on, but it's also relevant and real.
It's what I like about comic books most. I love seeing the superpowers. I love seeing the fights. That's all fun. But what really got me to be a fan were the characters, the exploration of the characters, and how they relate to other people or real life things. And that's what I love. So yeah, I completely agree. It is a 90% regular show, 10% superhero show. And
it's the
so
writing
good.
that does it. I mean, if I would take writing like this in any genre, anything at all, if you can write this good, if you can write it this good, it's going to take it to the next level. I mean, it's kind of the same with Andor. Andor, like, was written so well, and it's not, the lightsabers and like the space whatever is that's kind of like, it's part of it, but it's not the whole thing, and it's those characters and how they're written and how they play off of each other and how it's all performed and put together. I mean, it takes it to the next level. It shows you that you don't have to be, I've got superhero fatigue. It's like, no, you just haven't liked one in a while. This one's one of those.
It's also
great ones.
and it's also like you're not depending. But you're depending. You're not depending on like the same arc. The superhero fatigue, I think, for me was happening because it's the exact same arc, just cutting and pasting different people into it.
Yeah.
And like, obviously, they're going to win because they're the hero, and that's what we're here to watch. This, it's just somebody trying to exist in the world, and they're not even happy with like who they are.
Yeah. Having Dispatch and Wonder Man like so close to each other, it's the perfect answer to superhero fatigue, because both are superhero related, and Dispatch like focuses a lot more on superheroes than Wonder Man does, but they're still both superhero shows, but they focus on characters and character relationships and character exploration. And it's like, if you think you're, just like you said, if you think you're tired of superheroes, you're not. You need more stuff like this.
And the way they use his powers so subtly, so infrequently, and it's just it's so much more impactful.
I want to say stuff, but I can't. Yeah, you got to get on this.
You just made me think of something with the whole Dispatch thing. And
Sure.
I don't know real world, like, out in the world or whatever, if there were issues with Invincible and just being accessible, and like kids stories of like younger generations accessing or like just going and watching Invincible, being exposed to things that they probably shouldn't be. If that maybe could play into that.
Well, I didn't hear anything bad about this.
I haven't
Invincible.
either, but I don't know if that's because that's the only other example that we have of like a very cartoony thing. I mean, it's not the only other example.
Yeah, I mean,
but it's one of those things where it's superheroes, it's cartoons, it's readily available for younger generations.
Yeah.
And I didn't know if there was ever pushback or if there was something going on that we're not aware of that maybe could factor into the censorship or like.
Always got to
the
give Nintendo a
protection.
Nintendo fanboy. Got to give him an out. I'm
No,
joking. I'm joking.
But like if that's something that's going on, because we are.
If there
wondering.
is, I say bullshit anyway.
Yeah.
Whoa.
But yeah. Oh, and also Wonder Man. I don't know what it is aesthetically for me. A title card that has like the year in like Roman.
Oh, come
numerals
on.
and
In
stuff.
yellow font with the numbers. Yeah. It's
I'm
like,
getting chills, and it's a
you know.
title card. Like I don't understand how that.
Crazy redhead detective. She can read your mind.
Poker face.
Poker face. They did this.
There's something about that that's so retro and like.
Yeah, that's called weaponized nostalgia.
Yeah,
and I
isn't
say
it?
that completely admitting that I also love it. I
Yeah.
see that and I love it. It
Yeah.
adds like some sort of
It just adds.
it
like
adds
a-
prestige when it shouldn't, because
Yeah.
it doesn't mean anything, but you
Right.
associate it with when I saw these movies 20 years ago, they were great, and that's how they started. So
Right,
right
like
away,
you're
it's
back
like,
in the golden
oh, we're in for
age
something
or
special.
something.
Yeah. But in this case,
also,
just happens
there's
to align with a good show.
one thing that you generally don't like, RMC, that is all over this show that I am just the biggest sucker for is needle drops. There's like a needle drop song, like or actual song, like thrown in to like the end credits or
All
in the,
I thought about the
I
music
love
during
them
it
all.
was that I loved it. So it goes to show how you're 100% right about that. But when it's done right, I enjoy it. Yes.
it's
I multiple times
great.
during the show was like, really good soundtrack.
so well
Is that
done.
what
I
it's
mean,
called? If it's like.
I think that's what it's called if it's like an actual, like a real song by a real band, like that they put into the movie or
I
something.
mean, one of the episodes that I just saw, Ben Kingsley makes a comment, and then the song immediately starts playing.
Well, they use it in a bunch of different ways. Sometimes it's directly like that. There's a scene with the crazy German director where he's talking about the scene, and like,
oh yeah,
it starts and you're like, this is ridiculous. Like this song, it's
The
kind of
way-
ridiculous, and then he explains it, and you're like seeing it, and
that's
you're like,
the
oh
magic
my god,
of movies and TVs right there in that scene, because he talks you through his vision for it with that song. And as he's explaining it and you're hearing the song, you're like, this would be awesome.
Yeah,
So
it really is
I
great.
get it. So yes, go watch it. It's amazing.
And then something else I was saying. Now I forgot. Forget it.
Okay. I also wrote about the new Ghost in the Shell. I am a huge fan of Ghost in the Shell. Ghost in the Shell is one of my original anime viewing experiences. Like I don't remember which I saw first, but there's Akira, there's Ghost in the Shell, and there's Vampire Hunter D and Golgo. Those are the ones that all come together in anime world for me, where I was like, I think I really like this anime stuff. So Ghost in the Shell was one of them.
I think a go like this.
I have seen every animated anything
I've
that is
seen
released
everything.
for Ghost in the Shell. Some of them I love, some of them I like, some of them I didn't like. But I'm a fan of Ghost in the Shell in general, so I stick with it. New one coming out this year, which we've known for a long time, coming out in July. They finally put out the first teaser trailer, and it has first time we've seen footage. And its goal is to be extremely faithful and close to the original manga from 80 something. I don't remember. But Deux, the studio behind it is Science Saru, which is the studio that did Dandadan.
Oh.
And that immediately gets me excited. Then I saw the trailer. From a visual perspective and how they set up shots, I could not be more excited. Obviously, the story is very important and needs to be good. So we'll see what happens there. But from a visual perspective and how they tell stories through a visual landscape, it looks amazing. And their depiction of Major Kusanagi, oh my God, I could not like it more. It blew. I literally gasped when I saw what she looked like, because I was like, that is so perfect. It's so of that 80s era. Blew me away. So go watch the trailer. If you're a Ghost in the Shell fan, I would imagine seeing this, you would be like, oh my God, I have to see this right away.
Sorry, is this a series or a movie?
It's a series, yeah. So the original Ghost in the Shell animated anime took a very, for lack of a better term, realistic approach to how everybody looks. This is much more faithful to the manga, so you're not going to look at it and think realistic. But it, man, I could not like
Just
it more.
hearing
It looks
that
so
the
good.
Dandadan people did the art for it makes me curious.
They're deeply involved with it. This is their show for all intents and purposes.
I'll have to rewatch the movie because that was one of the ones I watched back in the day too. What you're talking about, and that was one that actually didn't speak to me. But it's been years and years. Maybe I gotta just watch it. Watch it again.
Funny you bring that point up. Somebody on Discord or somebody on Patreon was saying, it's crazy or interesting how much Ghost in the Shell relates to the world that we are in now, because Ghost in the Shell is about consciousness and AI and like computers taking over and what makes something alive, and like that means more than anything now than it did back then. So the Ghost in the Shell guy obviously, I guess, had a vision of where things were going. So yeah,
or set the blueprint.
There's the trailer. Thank you so much, Ross, for putting that in there. Check it out if you want.
So there's an original movie, and then there was TV.
There were
TV
multiple
series,
movies. There were multiple TV shows too. I don't remember the order of what came out when we were teenagers, or maybe we were early 20s. There's one called
Ghost in the Shell 2.
Ghost in the Shell Standalone Complex, which is a TV show. It's excellent. It's really good. I own the box set for that. There's Ghost in the Shell 2, which we saw in the theater in New York.
I don't even remember.
I remember enjoying it, but I don't remember a lot about it.
That's not the one where like the director or something was there.
No,
and may not.
But I remember seeing that.
Do we even know if they were really?
Who knows?
Because there was no no speaking engagement. They were just like outside signing like a poster to.
My knowledge of anime back then compared to what it is.
I know it was
like
Ghost in the Shell and Appleseed. That's all.
Yeah. I remember liking Appleseed. You know what? I wish I liked what was it? Steam Boy. I wish I liked Steam Boy better. A visual perspective, I like Steam Boy.
I remember seeing that with you guys in the theater.
Yeah.
We all were disappointed.
Jean-Luc Picard, whatever his name is, but did he do voice?
Jean?
I
believe he did.
Did you say Sean?
Jean-Luc Picard. Jean-Luc Picard. Get that, John. By the way, very quickly, can't say anything because she's not up to date. But that episode of Freerin yesterday,
it's just a great show. It's just so great.
I want to see if next week's episode picks up right where this one leaves off, because I was like, I don't know if they're going to do that, but I'm like, I want to see what's going to happen.
They have to.
I don't know, man. That show is so hard to describe to people because you're like, what's it about? And they're like, nothing.
It's quiet and lovely.
Kind of nothing. Yeah, kind of quiet.
Friendship.
People walking around.
Yeah, and it's like
maybe something gets killed at some point, but most of the time it's people talking and walking around.
And like there's less and less action. I feel now it's just all character stuff, and it's like, oh man, they're going on this path. There's going to be a monster. Oh, they killed the monster.
Yeah.
And
that's the funny part. Whenever there's a fight, because Freerin's so powerful, it's like, oh, there's a fight, and Freerin's like, and it's dead, and you're like, because that's not the point. It's not the point. The point is Freerin's really powerful. Nothing really stands a chance when it comes to the action stuff. But outside of that, the whole point of the show is nothing to do with the action. It's just Freerin learning about life.
I don't know. I don't know why it speaks to me. It's something that by all means should be boring to me, and I find it just so lovely. Love it. So
since I'm speaking about animation, I kept meaning to say this. You're talking about superheroes and when it's done well and all this stuff. We're talking about animated content. I am a fan, as you guys know, of Jujutsu Kaisen, and the studio that does Dan is amazing from visual storytelling perspective. I really love what they do. The studio that does Dan is Mappa. Mappa. They're probably the best when it comes to that. They did the Chainsaw Man movie. They do a whole bunch of stuff. They're like one of the kings in the anime industry, but they're doing the new season of Jujutsu Kaisen, and Jujutsu Kaisen has all kinds of crazy fights and stuff like that, like superhero movies do, but it has such a deep exploration of characters and how they interact with each other and so many interesting stories. And the episode that aired this week in particular, like, blew me away. It had the story that it tells is so interesting, and some of it is so heart-wrenching, and some of it is so alluring, but it's done from a visual perspective that is unbelievable. There are shots in the episode where I'm like, this is so gorgeous. And there's one scene in particular, I'm going to write about it on Patreon tonight, that it's like a 3-minute scene with a stationary camera and just two characters. And the intensity in the scene based on what's going on and these two characters being there, and they purposefully rotoscoped the scene to make it more realistic and more uncomfortable. And seeing it play out, just a static camera, what these two are talking about, and what's happening in the scene, I was like, this is one of the best scenes I've seen in an anime. And I went online to see what people are saying, and they're like, Mappa is like unbelievable. The stuff where they're like, let's rotoscope this, let's do this 24 frames per second, let's make an homage to Kill Bill here, like all this stuff. And I'm like, yeah, these people are crazy. But this here's the truth of it all. I watched that one scene and I was like, I wish I could get my friends to watch JJK, but it's a hard sell for a whole bunch of reasons. But this one scene in particular, it reminded me a lot of David Lynch stuff. I was like, this is very Lynchian in this scene. But cool stuff. So anyway, last thing I wrote about on Patreon is Mega Man Dual Override. They did the Robot Master fan design contest, and the 20 finalists have been chosen, and now it is up to us, the people, to
Dr. Huawei.
to pick which Robot Master actually gets put in the game.
Oh, cool.
So Capcom only gave one rule. They said the Robot Master has to have an arm with, like, I forget what it said, like super powered suction abilities. So that's all they said. Whatever your Robot Master could look like, whatever you want, but it has to have some kind of vacuum related arm
as
that
it cuts.
sucks. So they picked the 20 finalists, and I was like, people are so impressive and imaginative. Because, I read the requirement. I'm like, Vacuum Man, and he sucks things up. And there are some designs that are in the finals that are basically Vacuum Man. But the designs that they drew up of them are so cool. Like, I love some of them. But then there's other ones.
Suck to blow.
But there's other ones where people did the vacuum arm, and they have, like, Firefighter Man, and he uses the hose to suck up water to shoot. Like, a whole bunch of crazy ideas in there. Things I would have never even considered. And there's one that's called Juggle Man, and he can
these nuts. It's just a picture of
He
George,
can,
huh?
use the vacuum to suck up his head and pass it through his body to, like, juggle and then shoot at you. And the guy, like, that drew it,
Juggle Man has a vacuum.
He's got a vacuum arm because he's a fake juggler. He's pretending like he's juggling, but he's cheating. And then he does that to, like, do different things.
One arm suck and one arm blow? Like,
yeah, that's what it is. Exactly. And like, the tube is inside his head. Like, his neck is also a tube. So he does all these weird things to juggle different, pieces of the scenery or his own head and attack Mega Man. I was like, it's a really cool idea. I would have never thought of that. So go vote. But I asked you guys what your top picks are. Who is your Robot Master in this design that you like and you want to win? Because you can go cast your vote now until February 6th. But I just want to know what you guys thought.
Why is this not a top story?
Because,
can I find it on the
there's
website?
Juggle Man. Yeah, you can find it. Just search Mega Man. Here, search this word, override, and it'll come up right away. I updated a previous story because I did the original story that was the Robot Master Design Contest, and then I let people know. I updated it and said the finalists have been chosen. You got until the 6th to vote. I think my vote's going to Juggle Man. I really think Juggle Man's the coolest idea because it's something I would have never. Look at how cool that does. Yeah, see, Darmani, like, I really liked Cactus Man too. I thought that was such a cool idea. There's so many really cool ones in there. The top 20 is killer. If you find our post on GoNintendo, I have an image of all of the top 20.
Sanitize Man.
Like the ones that are more like Recycle Man. I liked Recycle Man. It's a very straightforward approach, but I love its design. It recalls Dust Man. Like, it's cool. That Capcom picked 20 really great top 20. Like, they picked some killer entrants in this competition. And it's so cool that one of these people is going to get their Robot Master in the game. I know this is not the first time Capcom's done this. They've done it a lot, but so cool. So best of luck to the top 20. Go in there and cast your vote.
Very heavy on vacuum content.
Did you hear the one rule for the competition?
Oh, is that what it was? I missed that.
I had a feeling when he was talking about the juggle.
The one rule that Capcom said is it has to be a Robot Master that has an arm that has some sort of super suction ability.
Okay.
And I said it sucks and it cuts.
And this guy's making suck and blow jokes, and he doesn't even know why he's doing it. But
Because I heard vacuum. I heard
You've
vacuum.
done so well this show. We take it off the record.
Oh,
That's your Patreon this week. Join it for $1. Whatever. I'm not doing North American. You just do European.
Why not Blowj Man?
What are the next European masterpieces? Let's find out with Nicky's sweet.
You're gonna have to wait, Josh.
Releases.
Blowjman could have been submitted. He just didn't make the top 20.
All right.
He was probably in there.
I like Flex Man too. He's
Blowjob
like a
Man, BJ
hobo.
Man. It's right there. How could you not? I mean, although I guess it wouldn't work. It's not what. It has to be an arm.
This Flex Man one is like a.
Hey, you're
I love it.
European man.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Well, you're gonna have to hold on because I need to get to the front page, to get to the top stories, to get to the releases. Hey everybody! It's the first week of we've made it to first week of February, the year
Not yet.
of our Lord 2026. Yeah, the week of January 29th, which what is that? Thursday?
What are those European releases, Nicky?
What was the 29th? Friday? For
What do I look
Switch
like our
2.
friend Brian?
For Switch 2, we got Card and Seal, Core Keeper, Dispatch, Nintendo Switch 2 edition, Grid Legends. Put those gritters away. And Run for Money, Hunter vs. Hunter. Which side will you win with?
That is based on a popular Japanese game show. I would have never thought that would get localized, but here we are.
Here we are. So available on the Switch. 20-in-1 Family Games Mega Collection. Astro Party EX. Black Border 2. Blocks Ahoy. Card Quest. Celestial Ascent. Century of Anticipation. That's kind of what I feel like I've been living for the last
Okay. What are you anticipating? End of the world?
last couple decades. Just last years I'm anticipating
Oh,
getting
okay.
work at least. I don't know. I'm always anticipating
Well,
something.
if you were just anticipating less years, I've got good news for you.
Chrono Arc Deluxe Edition. Countless Army. Crossack. Crystal Veil. Dino Escape. Dark Auction.
That game involves Hitler somehow, and I don't remember how, or I don't know how. I know they said.
Oh,
something has
Dark
to do-
Auction. So it's probably like one of those gentleman auctions, right? Where you get like an evening, a
With
nice
Hitler?
date, and he's one of them.
Oh no!
Maybe they auction off, art that they stole off of people that
Could be
they
it. Yes.
put in camps.
Dispatch again for Switch 1. Drop Pop. Dusk Index Gyan. Ooh, I don't want to visit here. Ebola Village.
Nice.
Vacation's over. The MSX2 version of
Love this title. Love this.
Wonderland of Carbuncle.
Title. Fun name to say.
Simon and Carbuncle.
And Carbuncle is just a guy who eats a lot of pasta.
Oh.
Escape.
My carb uncle.
Yeah.
Get it?
Bread and pasta. Escape from Ever After. Is that a game of divorce? Escape,
It's a game like Paper Mario.
Escape Game Room 9 or 00M09. Escape Game The Museum of Memories. Fighting Force Collection. Forest Simulator 2000 Year of Our Lord 2026. Mushroom Hunting. Gradiently 2.
Fighting Force Collection. Is that Fighting Force?
That is the Fighting Force. 2 games, 1 collection. The one you used to play in the arcade. It is back. I loved that game.
Gradiently 2. Guts and Grunts Jr. Yeah. Habitat Shapes. Heroes Battle Awakening. Horizon Drift Unlimited, Year of Our Lord 2022. I don't know if it's a year. Maybe it's just a number. 2026. And I said 2. I meant 6. 2026. Hyperdot. I Hate This Place. Night Castle Defender. I think I Hate This Place is just like a United States sim, right?
I'm gonna die in this house.
Night Castle Defender. Legacy of Schnauz. Horror Room Escape. A lot of escape room games this week. Long Run 2.
Longers.
Luna and the Dreams. Good dreams, bad dreams? Don't know. Just
Dreams.
Chase your dreams.
Last night I had a dream that I was having an affair with a character from Young and the Restless.
Which one?
At a Disney
Adam?
resort. No, it was bad. It was
Oh.
Kyle.
It's cute.
No.
Your dream. Is it a nightmare then?
Next game, Nikki.
I don't know where I stopped. Mage Battle Arena. Maid of Salvation. M-A-I-D. I'm not Maid of Salvation. I'm the Maid of Salvation. Majatori. Nyan 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 Nyan.
Very good.
Off-Road Rally Racer. Quick Whiskers.
Off-road rally racing. It happens. It happens.
You told me I did good, and then I just let my guard
You're
down.
good. You're good.
Off-Road Rally Racing. Quick Whiskers. Run for Money, Hunter vs. Hunter. Which side will you win with? Running Fable Petite Party. Ship Simulator Ocean Fishing. Simply Casa. Sparkle and Umbra. The Place on the Hill. Nope. The Palace
There you go.
on the
I
Hill.
do that all the time when I'm reading.
The Perfect Pencil.
Hmm.
This one's censored, so there's no pencil to see. It's just a
Got it.
black box. The Rite of Lilium. Tropicalia.
Ooh.
Ultimate Ride Jumps Collection. And Wash Cleaner Simulator.
I'm the
So
wash cleaner here.
So there's a power washing simulator, but then also when you're done power washing, you have to clean the power washer. So this is the wash cleaner simulator.
Yes.
Or maybe
is there a
laundry.
comment, Nikki?
There is a comment from NicoDarunia. This patch for the Nintendo Switch is finally available, but when is that patch going to be available, Nikki? Did I misread that?
Dispatch.
Oh, this
Get it?
patch. That patch.
Get it?
That's a
left it.
joke that I give often, and I misinterpreted. But thank you.
All right. In the interest of what we played,
I think he's right though, or they're right. When's the patch to uncensor it?
Well, it's in the works. We know that for sure.
I know.
I'd say about, if they really push, based on what I know from talking to other developers, if they really push and Nintendo does what they're supposed to do, they could get it out within February, end of February probably, but they could do February, and then we'll be able to see. Maybe you are allowed to see the head of the penis, but no shaft.
Really, I would think the shaft would be more.
Yeah.
Listen, Nintendo, they don't make any sense. That's my point.
Oh, that was.
You can show the dick, but censor the veins. That's what they'll say.
And the pubes.
No, they don't want to see the hole, right?
The
Show
penis
hole.
hole.
Show
Yeah,
Censor the penis.
so you can see everything,
pee hole.
but the pee hole's censored.
And that would be
Just
really
a
funny because
tiny little, like,
Well, that's like
that'd be funny
boobs,
because
right?
they look exactly like the penis
Like
hole. Anyway.
boobs. You can see the whole boob, but don't show that nipple.
That
Like
is funny.
so, yeah. The
How
pee
funny
hole.
would it be if they had
They're
them
anti-hole.
censor-
We've already decided that.
They had them censor the, for lack of a better term, outer boob, but not the nipple.
Oh man, I got a great TikTok of a tattoo artist who will tattoo your
Oh.
areolas into like
I saw that.
shape. I sent it to you, like
Oh.
shapes, so you could have like your areolas made into hearts, and I think that's
Oh, yeah.
awesome.
Tentavision, that is one of the most beautiful things I've ever read. Tentavision says the hole is the nipple of the
That's what I
penis.
was
That
thinking,
is
yeah.
so good. All right. In the interest of time, does anyone have anything they played that they are desperately looking to talk about?
Well, I restarted using the GBA graphics of Shantae Risky Revolution, and
Mhm.
I completed it.
Hey!
and
good for
and when
you.
you beat it, I mean that's a spoiler. I won't tell you.
No, you're fine.
You unlock a bikini mode.
Standard Shantae fodder.
Um,
Nintendo got woke and they don't do that anymore.
so, and I'm sure you've already known this. I didn't know it, and I didn't really do the research. I was just like, oh, instead of playing the modern graphics or the whatever, I'll do the graphics are the same. It's the like the text when like the characters come up for conversations.
Yeah.
That's what's
You-
higher
but you
res.
get HD artwork.
What do you mean? That's
Like
what
the character cut-ins.
that's what I mean.
Oh, okay,
that's
okay,
that's
yes,
the HD.
Yes.
But the actual
You get
the
pixelated
gameplay-
GBA graphics no matter what. Yeah.
Yeah, didn't know that, but
Well, congratulations.
Didn't
What'd you
fit.
think of it?
I enjoyed it. I mean, it wasn't like incredibly like it's perfect for me.
We're
you
gonna try
know?
that multiplayer mode.
It's a little more. It's not even necessarily challenging. It's like
No.
it's like a Kirby game or whatever. It's just,
games are really
it's like
challenging.
light
They-
enough,
You just go through them.
and you get to see a zombie in
Roddy
in,
tops.
in jean shorts.
I
cut
I'm
off
gonna
shorts.
Rotting
guess.
Tops would be a really good name for a cat.
I'm gonna guess if you search the internet enough, you could probably find porn of.
I don't
rotting
think you have
tops.
to look very far.
That's the joke.
Oh yeah. I mean, they're all whatever. But yeah,
Shantae's not because of any jiggle physics or
What?
anything.
Any kind of what?
Jizzle
Jizzle
physics.
Jizzle physics.
Check out those jizzle physics. But Shantae's like idle animation in every Shantae game. I'm a fan of idle animations in general, but Shantae's idle animation where it's like the feet in, feet out bounce. I love that so much.
She like
It makes you jizzle.
she like reties like a belt around her waist.
She does
too.
little different things in all of them, yeah. And like the
uh,
crawl.
So
with the
there's
little butt
there-
wiggle?
So there is one thing. One of your transformations. Can I talk about it?
Yeah.
You one of the transformations is like a mermaid, and you need to be a mermaid to get through like underground and underwater obstacles.
Usually where mermaids hang out.
And so like when you squeeze through this obstacle, the
Mhm.
boobs pop out to the other side, and it
Mhm.
makes like a whoop sound. It's just funny.
That's
That's
so-
way classic way forward.
Yeah.
That's their jam.
But no, I mean it's fun.
Penis
It's
jam.
charming. It's meta, I guess, right?
Well,
Like
now we know
very-
they're working on a new Shantae. Who knows when we'll see it, but it'll probably be censored.
Oh, and
just like
there
Radical
is
Defects
a
says.
joke in there too, where like there's like a character that they talk about, and they're like, something about him disappearing. He should probably
Mhm.
like stay safe for like the next 3 games or
Yeah.
something like that, because
They love their fourth wall self-referential humor. Yes, Way Forward's always been big on that.
so that's it. I want to say that
Well,
because I actually
congratulations.
completed it.
That's
great
great.
job.
Mom Brain didn't play anything.
I
Do
did.
is
I played Dispatch.
more this week?
Yeah.
Oh, you just haven't played. When was the last day you played?
When?
Monday night,
Okay.
Sunday night, or Monday
Well,
night.
then I apologize. Go right ahead if you want
No,
to talk.
that's all.
Oh,
It
okay.
was chapter 5, and it's so far been my favorite chapter.
Chapter
Ooh,
5 is the bar fight chapter.
Cool.
Without getting into too many spoilers.
Yeah, I loved that.
And I said to her, my favorite chapter was the next chapter.
The next
so
one.
hopefully we'll see. Do anything you really want to talk about?
I
Burning Desire?
just have to say, in the long dark, my run has come to a sad end, another stupid end. I made it to day 270. I was unstoppable, or so I thought. I went to the last region that I hadn't visited yet, and upon getting there, I was attacked by timber wolves, and one of them had like they act different than regular wolves in the game. They don't like grab onto you and like tussle with you. They'll like come behind you and circle you and just like do swipes as they jump by. And I didn't realize that one bit me as it went by me and caused me to bleed. And I didn't think about that. And I went inside and I was like, I'll sleep for 10 hours and get my health back.
Oh, you're going to sleep all
And I
right.
bled to death in my
Wow.
sleep at 270
What?
days. and
So peaceful death. You didn't know you were hurt.
it was annoying because it's like, it's my own fault. Like it's my own
Yeah.
fault for something stupid like that. And like, I don't think I was trying to softly go for day 500, but
Oh, you softly went. All right.
but yeah, it was.
But like, that's, I mean, so realistic too, right? Like you lost a lot of blood, and you're just like, oh man, I'm getting real tired. I just got to take a nap.
Just a-
Let
just
me
a
take a
little nap.
nap, and
That'll be
I'll
great.
get up and take care of
Yeah,
everything.
And like, but it's another thing. Like I said, every time you die, you learn something new. So now, before I go to sleep, I always go to the status screen to see what my stats are.
So
In real
restarted.
life, when you go to bed, you don't check if you're bleeding before you go to sleep.
Well,
thought
I
we all
mean,
did that.
normally I know when I in real life.
As
Oh,
a woman,
yeah,
I
there
could
you
tell
go,
you
there you go.
it's about once a month. For
But
a
it's
few
a good
days.
thing
I'm-
if you're bleeding as a woman.
I mean, you know what? I'm tired of it. at
Well,
this
I got
point.
great
I mean,
news
I
for
can
you.
always,
Yeah.
I can always kind of tell because like I've been to Taco Bell just before, and right before I go to bed, I go to the bathroom.
Oh, bleeding out your ass.
Yes.
Got you.
Oh.
I was like, how does Taco Bell relate
And honestly,
to Nicky
Taco
Hill
Bell-
having a period?
Taco Bell, Taco Bell doesn't actually make me bleed out
Diarrhea?
my butt. Yeah, but so you restarted?
So naturally, I restarted, knowing what I know, and I tried. That was on like medium difficulty. Now I'm doing it on one of the hardest difficulties. because I felt confident enough to
put it
give
down
that
now.
a shot.
Sorry.
And
No,
I
you're
made it to day 38 on interloper settings, which is like it's pretty impressive.
You gotta start.
It's very difficult, but yeah, that one got me bad. I finally got a bow and arrow. I was finally able to hunt, and I saw a bear. I was able to take the bear down, and as I was harvesting all the meat, I got hit with a blizzard. And I knew that from where the bear was over this hill was my base, and I just had to walk that direction. It was like pitch black, and the blizzard came out of nowhere, and I didn't know where the heck I was, and I went over what I thought was the hill that I
And you
needed to
walked
go
for
over,
yeah.
and I walked forever until I died in a blizzard, and it was so depressing because I was finally like, I finally got a foothold. Like, you got to really work on the hardest difficulty to get anywhere. I mean, you don't even start with matches. So I was really, really proud of that run. So I mean, I don't know. I
So
love the game. I don't
Does
know
the
why.
does the landscape change with each playthrough, or is all you get a feel for where things are?
The way you need to know where you are. You need to play the game and learn the regions. The regions are the same.
Okay.
There's like 13 different regions or something like that. And once you learn the region, then I suggest playing on a harder difficulty,
Right.
because I was doing that at first and I was dying very quickly within literally one day. And it's because I didn't know where I was. So when I played, that medium playthrough for 270 days, I went to every region and I got to know them very well. So then when I tried it on Interloper, I was able to find my way around a lot easier, because a lot of it is just knowing where you are, because you need, especially on Interloper, you're going to be cold. You got to get inside a cave or a building or something.
Could you have
warm.
climbed inside the bear carcass?
You can hide behind the bear, like say the wind is blowing a certain direction. You could hide behind the bear carcass and be safe from the wind, and you can potentially start a fire.
The wind.
But at any moment, the wind can change direction, and you're not totally warm doing that. You can huddle there for a little bit longer, but it's kind of like I have to move or I'm dead anyway.
Tauntaun sleeping bag.
It's no, you can make a bear bedroll, which I did. So I made a bear skin bedroll. That was on my medium playthrough. But yeah, I didn't get a chance to make a bear skin bedroll because I couldn't get out of that blizzard.
And what do you use moose antlers for? Could you make a moose antler hat and then fight?
A shame that you can't use moose antlers, but you can use the moose hide to make yourself a satchel to carry more,
Really?
or
it's like a nice club or
a jacket. This
game's not realistic.
I would like to be able to use the moose antlers for something, but yeah, I mean, it's a lot of fun. I especially like starting a new game because, like I said, it's all about kind of like looting and what am I going to find here, and like sometimes you find some really good loot early, and sometimes you go days in game without finding stuff you need, and you're like scrounging and like lighting torches to light fires so that you don't use too many matches, and like so many things that you have to look into. I don't know, it's really gripped me, this damn game. So thanks for letting me talk about that. I am starting a new medium playthrough, which is I'm going backwards just because it's stressful. The interloper setting is stressful, and like I said, 38 days. I was pretty proud of that. So, but
Do you
yeah,
feel like you could head out into the wilderness in real life now?
No, not at all. And in fact, that's
not even in an area that you're familiar with.
I couldn't even, not in my backyard. It's funny too.
You go to visit Deux, and like he's in his backyard. He's like, "Guys, thank God you're here. I've been trying to find my way out of here."
And it'd be like, "Oh, can we sleep in a tent in the backyard?"
Yeah.
Dude bled to death in his backyard.
And
He's got like this long beard.
Well, when you turn on a game and it shows you like the developer and the publisher screen and all that stuff, the very first screen that comes up is that for 10 years they've been getting people like telling them like, but actually, because it's like, we know that wolves don't normally attack people. This is a video game. Do not do any of this stuff and expect to survive. Like it's all this stuff, and And it's like, they only have these warnings because some jackass
will probably
decided to
try.
do something. So yeah, like you could tell, because like the wolves are, they're deadly in the game. They will always come after you if they see you. But like they had to put a little disclaimer that was like, yes, we know wolves don't normally attack
that's the
humans.
disclaimer, right? Like, don't go after a bear in a blizzard. How about that? Like, but no, it's the
Right.
disclaimer is we know wolves don't.
Everybody talks about
normally
alphas
attack
nowadays.
people.
They gotta make sure their wolf lore is up to date.
Yeah. But yeah, so loving the game, and I'm getting, now that I know even more about the areas, it's even more fun. Like I thought it would maybe get boring or something, but it's actually even more rewarding because now I feel a lot more confident playing it. But yeah, I'm enjoying it, and that's a perfect gif I see of me in my backyard grooving like Millhouse. So thanks for letting me talk about that. The Long Dark ain't so dark anymore. I got some secrets.
That's great. Glad you're keeping it.
Oh, RMC, forgive me.
Enjoying it.
I thought we weren't talking about it. What are you?
Well,
playing?
since I was like, let's go quickly. Does anybody have anything to say? And everybody did, so I'll just go. But I am going to be very quick. The only thing I played was Fortnite because I was too busy talking about this goddamn AdHoc shit all week, so I didn't get to play anything.
Wait, what happened with AdHoc?
I love my time with Fortnite, though. Had a great time. And the only thing I will say is regular show content got added to Fortnite. So I got my little Rigby pet that runs around with me, and I couldn't be happier. And he's wearing his excellent hat now
Oh, you
because
got
I
the
unlocked
hat.
that.
Nice.
So that's great. And that's it. Let's ask questions. Send your questions to GoNintPod@gmail.com.
Where?
GoNintPod@gmail.com.
Maybe I will.
They can be about Nintendo video games in general or whatever the hell you want. NicoDarunia says, we know that the Pikmin are invisible to us. Question. Is John Cena just a big Pikmin? That's a very good point. That is a very good point. What other things are invisible? And we can all just consider them Pikmin now. So John Cena.
Air.
No, it's got to be like a thing.
Invisigal.
Invisigal. There you go. She's a partial Pikmin. Invisibitch. What are, come on, there's like cartoons and shows where like things are invisible to adults because they suck and the kids can see them.
The Indian in the cupboard? Or?
There you go.
Man.
Perfect. Pikmin.
Oh, is that Phineas and Ferb? Are those?
Toy Story.
Are those?
You can
oh
see
no,
them.
no. Fairly Odd Parents. They're invisible. To the characters, right?
Whatever their names are. Yeah, I've only seen a few episodes.
Yeah, I don't
but
know. I don't know
Wanda
nothing.
and I don't remember their names. Sure, they count. JoJo stands. Yes, that's right, Red Suits. They count too. There's so many different Pikmin. So yes, John Cena is a big Pikmin, as are everything else that we mentioned. It makes perfect sense. Cosmo and Wanda. Thank you, Blood Ocean. I can hear Cosmo's voice in my mind right now. Picori from Minish Cap. There you go, Radical Defect. That's a good one too. Yeah, only Link and the player, I guess, could see that. Every game, everything. There's Pikmin all around us everywhere. I guess Elebits are Pikmin. I don't think humans could see those. But yes, most importantly, John Cena is a Pikmin. We also have a Patreon question. Mom Brain, did you know that you can join a Patreon?
For $1.
Eugene Ahka did, and they asked this question. If you could time travel and you went back 100 years, would you be able to succinctly and effectively explain to someone the idea of purchasing virtual goods? Effectively, I want to say yes. Succinctly, probably not.
I'm gonna say
Because there's so many
no.
steps you have to take before you even get there.
They're not even going to understand my dialect.
That's true.
I'm gonna say no because my first question is define virtual good.
What do you mean? V-Bucks.
Okay. Well, that's V-Bucks. That's not the good. So I guess
A Fortnite skin.
so just purchases in-game purchases or online.
Something you spend real life money on that is only existing virtually.
Right.
There you go. Right. So yeah, 100 years. Think about how many steps you would have to take just to set up what you're trying to explain.
Yeah,
It's insane.
we can tell.
Be like,
I can
well,
get
it's
there.
on a computer. What's a computer? Oh, well, and then you got to explain the internet, and then you got there's so many pieces of this.
You'll do
puzzle.
it.
I could get there.
But the question was succinctly and effectively.
Yeah, if you give me a little bit of time to prepare, yes.
Should we let you prepare for next week's show? Let's do that, and I'll pretend to be the 100-year-old person. Let's do that. That'd be fun.
Okay.
You don't think it'd be fun?
Well, I do.
Would you do it?
You remember how you used to play Dead Body?
I still think about it all the time. I just watched somebody on TikTok do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, I play stupid games with you all the time. Like the game,
Win
my
stupid
favorite
prizes.
game. My favorite game. Come on, what is it?
Sweetest Gets Asked a Question?
No, that's a good one.
That's everyone's favorite game show.
No, that's right. Thank you. No, the other one.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. My favorite game is. How do you explain this?
Succinctly.
I don't say actual words to Mom Brain, but I make the sound of what it would sound like the tone, the flow. So.
Go Nintendo Podcast.
Oh, that was yeah. I'm trying to think of.
Voice squeaking or the cat?
I'm trying to.
cat,
I'm trying to think of one that everybody would get.
6 o'clock scoop.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I see. I didn't get that.
See, I
one.
play a lot.
But yes,
but
but
more on the receiving end of this.
but I'm not
Always.
But I'm not doing that. I'm saying like regular sentences to her because I'm like, is she going to be able to figure out what I'm saying? And I'm going to say 85% of the time she's spot on. There's never been one where she can't get it, but sometimes they take more.
I mean, generally, I spend a lot of my time with
Deciphering.
non-speaking
Yes.
people who communicate
They're
in
not
lots of
deciphering,
different
but,
ways. So I'm a good context reader and listener.
You are very good, and I do like playing the game. And I know you don't like it,
I
but thank you
really
for
don't
putting
like
up with
it.
But you'll get to a point where you'll be
Oh.
like,
That's like
I don't wanna
80%
play
of your
this game
relationship.
anymore. Yeah,
Thank you for
sure.
putting up with it.
What else? You know what else? You know what else has been a really good one?
I have a feeling it's not good for me.
Yeah, no. I mean, so time for everybody's favorite game show. Sweetness has asked a question.
Mhm.
But he also will do this thing where he puts a microphone like up to my mouth. And before the new year came around, he was like, I got to tell you something. And I said, okay.
It was nice of me to give you a
He
warning.
goes, in the new year, the microphone's going to get very close to your mouth. Would you like a preview of that? And I said, yes. I was driving. And it literally, go
Oh,
ahead.
that's a great place.
Show
That's
everybody.
a great time.
This is when he generally tries to do these things. Go ahead, show everybody what it looks like when the microphone gets close to my mouth. And then I stop it by putting my
Yeah,
tongue.
but now I'm not going to do that anymore
his
because you do
handhold.
that.
Mhm.
Listen,
Yep.
it's just
This
fun to
is-
have
but-
conversations. You're someone who doesn't like to talk.
I don't, and I don't like to be talked to like
Talk to,
weekdays,
talk
weeknights,
at,
weeknights.
talk in general. You don't like to talk. Yeah, all of it.
Yep. So these are the things
we
that
found a
happen in
happy
our life.
medium.
Yep.
Because it's like I don't like talking when I
You
don't
know
actually
when
say
he
words.
loves to talk to me? Like 4 p.m. when I've just gotten home and I just want to rot for like an hour and watch TikToks.
Because it's nice to see
Then he
you.
has so much to say. And you know what else he likes to say is, tell me more about your day. Right?
Because you don't
Tell
like
me
to
about your
talk, so I'm
day.
trying to get things out of you.
Tell me more about your day. And then I usually say, you know what? Why don't you tell me about your day? And then I just sit quietly
And my
and
day
listen.
is I sat at a computer and that's
Yeah.
it. Well, thanks for putting up with me, Mom Brain. I appreciate
It's my pleasure.
it. We also have music. Send your music to goninpod@gmail.com.
Where?
Goninpod@gmail.com.
Maybe I will.
So put music in the title. How about your local Mom Brain PC? That is very funny. PC says Nintendo would never allow tonguing the handhold. That is so true. We are doing illegal Nintendo activities here. No tonguing the handhold. Let me get my notes ready and get my score counter going.
to hear it?
I do want to hear it.
Oh.
Song win. Song number 1.
Darmani
Demon.
thinks that I am an extrovert.
RM. Yeah, I know, Darmani. What you're thinking makes perfect sense, but nope. It is the opposite way. Unless you think I'm an introvert. I am
Speaking
not.
up and speaking out, very important things. I don't
Play
mind
it
that.
to speak us out.
I just don't love talking after work.
You don't love talking in general.
That's not true. Just after work. First song comes from Spaniel 53.
Oh my god, I gotta get out of here. Sounds. Is it GBA?
It is.
Is this like a real classical song?
I don't know.
They went all out on it, so. It feels very familiar, but I don't know from what. Should this be familiar to me?
Yeah.
And it's GBA, yeah? Is it first party?
Yes.
It doesn't sound first party, but it sounds like they put a lot of work into it. I don't know. What would this be? It's not a Metroid. It's not a
Minish Cap.
not a Fire Emblem because I wouldn't have played that.
Is it like Mario and Luigi?
Oh, that's a possibility.
It is.
Superstar Saga.
I believe that is correct.
Thank you, Nicky
Yes,
Hill.
You got
great
there.
job. You got us there.
I wouldn't have remembered that. I knew it sounded familiar. I played that, but don't
Get
remember
there.
that song. We got there.
One time.
Great job. You too. All right. Next one comes to us from Gaku Kitsune.
Is this? I'm having trouble placing the system. Is this Super Nintendo? I'm not sure about that.
I think it is. Yeah.
This is such a mix of qualities that I am complete. Is it Square Enix or Enix or Square? I guess SquareSoft or Enix. No, you don't have to go through trouble. I got no guess at all.
Banger.
Can't even begin to place it. I'm out.
I'm out.
It was Nightmare Busters on the Super Nintendo.
Never played it.
Man,
Do know of it.
what a song.
This one's from NicoDarunia.
Bum 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 bum. Yep. Bum 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 bum. 2, 3, 4. Bum 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 bum. This is Rhythm Heaven. I don't know. Fever, Rhythm Heaven, Megamix, Rhythm Heaven. Never. Oh, this is the airplane one. It's gonna make me cry. Bum, 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 bum. With the badminton thing. Oh, that is.
There's a new one coming, right?
Yes. Oh, yes. This year. That is. If somebody was like, "Why do video games mean so much to you?" I could show them things where they'd understand, and I could show them things where they wouldn't understand, and I'd show them the airplane game, and they'd be like, "You're an
You
insane person."
wouldn't understand.
That song game makes me cry because it's just the song's great. It's beautiful to like. It's just a beautiful experience to play. That one in particular really gets me. That cat and that dog. I think it's a dog in airplanes playing
Pet that
badminton,
dog.
flying, and like I don't know. I couldn't explain it. Just moves me. It moves me.
This one comes from Tony de la Mancha.
Animal Crossing. Right away. Right away. I don't know what one. Is this our fourth song? I screwed up.
I don't know. I know I have 10 altogether. Dude, where are we right now?
Yeah, I think it's fourth.
The Dream Island.
This is the fourth song, you think?
I don't remember.
No.
Beep, 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 beep. Well, how many places you got to guess? A museum? Coffee shop?
Oh yeah.
It's the fossil gallery.
Yeah. This
Where-
is nice.
One might encounter a Tyrannosaurus Rex with very small arms.
Don't talk about it, though.
You were talking about that. That guy is a fossil. Maybe he's a fossil expert, but he knows nothing about the
Volunteer.
actual like science.
Also,
To be like, yeah, their arms were did more work when they were younger. What, the arms just don't grow?
Exactly. I would
He
also
was a
like to
volunteer.
note that but he had a button that said fossil expert. Fossil.
He volunteered.
I don't think
So
there's
listen.
an organization that gives you a button that says that.
Speaking of,
Yeah, it's not like being a sommelier.
Here's your piece of paper. Here's your diploma, and here's your button. Make sure you wear it.
I was not part of this, but I was informed and I was sent pictures.
Oh, come on, man.
The preschoolers.
We're so late. This
This
show's
week.
so late.
I'm sorry, I missed what you said because somebody was talking over you.
She got pictures of.
I was informed of and have pictures of and can share them with you guys. The preschoolers had an assembly this week. And it was a woman who came and sang and played guitar and also brought like 10 to 15 taxidermied animals.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay, next song. Thank you.
Was it to teach kids not to vape? Because I've been seeing that commercial around a lot.
Funny because
Next song, please.
one of the kids asked how one of the animals died.
From vaping.
And she told the children it got hit by a car, and that's why it's important to hold mommy's hand when you cross the street.
Oh, man. Wow.
Yeah.
She's gotten that question
They'll
before.
never forget it.
Absolutely.
They'll never forget it.
All right, this one's from PT. Ugh.
Olympic Games.
Double dribble.
Yep.
Oh, nice.
And
Jump ball.
nothing against PT, but
Gung, 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 gung.
I don't have much desire to listen to that song. Thank you, PT. This one comes from Tentavision.
If I can make one sound effect with my mouth, it would be the sound of the slam dunk in Double Dribble. It's so good. Yes, not close. But... Well, the amount of guitar and the styling of it leads me to believe that it is Japanese.
It's not Sonic?
No.
It's not the right kind of sonic guitar. This is a Xenoblade game.
Yeah.
1. Xenoblade Chronicles.
Xenoblade Chronicles on the Wii. You are correct. This one I'm excited to listen to because it looks like it's going to be cool. It comes from Alien Boy VA.
I like it. This could be a sports game.
What was that game? What was that game?
I don't know what kind of game it is.
Oh, never mind. No,
Thumper.
No.
I wanted to say it was that
Did you ever play Thumper, like the drinking
Geometry
game
Wars.
in college?
No.
Like it was a Pennsylvania thing.
Right kind of vibe.
If there was no language, if there were no lyrics,
We should probably listen to these lyrics.
I can't understand anything unless there's subtitles.
I like this a lot. But what are you doing?
Persona.
No.
Portal.
Cabbage and grass? No.
Did you hear cabbage? I heard cabbage.
I heard cabbage.
I heard meat robes everywhere, cabbage and portals.
Beach roads everywhere?
Dude, you're the master of picking out lyrics. Did you make any sense of that?
Ooh, Radical Defect says meat robes everywhere.
That's what I said. Meat robes everywhere.
They were saying high force drugs.
You son of a bitch. We're done. We're out. I don't know it, but I like it.
Yeah, I don't know it either.
It is Groove Coaster YY Party.
Oh, that's a tough one. That is a music game, but I've played one of those. But
Speaking
Not
of
all.
Radical Defect Master Higgins, this one comes from Radical Defect Master Higgins.
Oh my God, come on. What am I? Did I just start playing video games? Turn it up.
Walking out of the fields yesterday.
I'm waiting for you to.
Yeah.
You played it. Unless you've been lying.
It sounds so familiar.
I don't think you're going to get me because I know this is a specific version of the song.
Is it a beat 'em up?
Would you like to know the original game? The original is not a beat 'em up now.
Elevator action?
I have no idea. It doesn't sound like anything familiar to me.
Or when you give up, I'll jump on it. No pressure.
Is it a fighting game or something?
Nope. Well, that's what this version is from.
Yeah.
Oh, is it Castlevania?
Nope.
Judgment?
That's a great guess.
Capcom versus Sudoku? Sudoku.
Close enough.
Yeah, I mean, I give up.
You're giving up?
Yeah.
Okay. This is the Smash Brothers version of Megalovania from Undertale.
You got it.
Wait, you might have never done that fight. I take it back.
I don't think so.
That's a fight with Sans.
This one comes from Mikey3319.
Oh, what am I doing? I know. Oh, this is a WWE game.
Yeah.
What one?
Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
I had this on the Genesis. Oh. And if you hovered over the card of the wrestler long enough, it would like fade out and play their song, and
You give the people what they want.
oh my god, it's
There's
so
a song in WWE. I'm not watching WWE. I'm not, but I follow some of the wrestlers. There's a song in WWE that's like completely rejuvenated the wrestler's character. Like they've gotten over with the crowd because of the song. It's a good
Did
one.
you
somebody
see-
call my mama.
That's it.
That'd
He's
be
back.
great.
Yeah, he's back.
Well, we'll talk
Did I
about it
see
later.
what? So, I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't just say things because I'm not watching. What? I saw who won the men's rumble.
No news about a wrestler who was on
Here
a
we go.
list.
Here we go.
Hmm.
No,
Hmm.
you can say the Epstein list. They were mentioned on it. A wrestler?
The spiders and flies are
Yeah.
going to be talking
Who?
about it later.
Uh,
So
Whisper.
The
If
girl.
you don't want to tell me.
Well, that's
Oh,
But that-
you mean
I mean-
from a bad perspective?
I mean,
You
it's
should have
true.
prefaced that. Yes, I saw that.
Yes.
You
I'm
don't
sorry.
say she was on the list
Well,
and people take it as
she
bad.
was mentioned.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh.
Poor thing.
Well, yeah,
And-
rest in peace.
Disgusting. Last song comes from Wired.
Diarrhea of the game.
No,
Super Nintendo the game.
it is Super Nintendo.
Bad Super Nintendo game the game. Home Improvement.
Wayne's World.
Yes.
Definitely.
Did you
Oh,
feel
yeah.
me trying to get inside your brain?
No, but I was like, this sounds familiar.
Mhm.
I was right. I said bad Super Nintendo game. I
what
was
did you
so
do in that game?
I was so desperate to rent something for Super Nintendo one day that I rented
They
this.
have like huge heads,
Yes,
right? And they have
yes.
like guitars, and
It's
they
terrible.
do like
It's
I
terrible.
think I saw like Angry Video Game Nerd or something doing it.
It's very, very, very bad. Bad music altogether.
Excellent.
Wayne's World, Wayne's World, party time, excellent.
8 out of 10 we got. 6 out of 9. That's it.
That's it,
That's
everybody.
it. We're done here. And to play us out,
Ladies and
we're gonna
gentlemen.
play a cut off of Sting's new album.
We're gonna take it away here with a little something called Deux Views. It's never news.
Excellent.
Rumor
Party of the week.
Rumor of the week with Deux Michaels. Ladies and
starring.
gentlemen, you may have noticed that at the end of the podcast we have Deux Views, where my spiders and my flies, they go all over the video game realm and they come back with
Go all over it.
rumors, excellent video game rumors, Nintendo related rumors that I tell you all about, and you're only going to hear them here first. But there is an interesting note on this one. It says right here that this is actually, for once, we're doing something new here. It's a true story, so it's not a rumor this week.
Are you fucking with us?
This
Inside
is-
scoop.
This is true. This is definitely
This is
true.
trues, everybody. You heard it.
It's definitely true. So here it is.
In the news, we call it the trues.
So we talked a little bit about censorship earlier, how it relates to Dispatch and Nintendo. So it turns out the Dispatch censorship talk is just all a distraction that Nintendo's putting together to distract from the recent release of the Epstein files, which have revealed that both Wario and Waluigi were mentioned in the
no.
files along with the Broodals.
Oh,
Yes,
no.
and it says here that Bowser got an STD from a Russian Koopa.
Oh, my God.
God. So just you know, they're
That's funny.
big people were trying to keep them protected, and now we finally know what Wario and Waluigi and the gang are all up to.
Wow. Wow. You know, I got to be honest. I'd like to say I'm shocked.
Not
but
Ziggy.
not shocked.
Is it Ziggy or Iggy Koopa? There's two of them, right?
Iggy
Well, it's
and
the-
Ziggy is something you made up.
The
Ziggy
Koo-
is a bald,
The Koopa
short
kids,
man.
the Koopa kids are fine. They are dealing with their father's betrayal the best they can. It's the Broodals that are under suspicion.
And any other week, the idea of Colonel drawing all the Koopa kids with Ziggy there would be the image to go with. But we have so much other stuff. Oh, man, that's good. Well, Colonel, draw whatever you want. I obviously, like I said all the time, I don't care. And whatever you do is fantastic. But you might have to commission that one from you, Ziggy and the Koopa kids.
In the after show, I would very much like Ramit to explain the best dream he ever had.
And also, by the way, nothing gets the youngsters listening like talk of Ziggy because they all know who that
I wish I was taller.
All right. Thanks for watching and thanks for listening. We will see you next week. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.
Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.
Playing my game.
Why do you want me to talk about my dream?
Because it's so good.
Oh, that's good. 10 Division says you sure was a Koopa and not a Kremling. That's very good. That's
wish
very good.
I wish I thought
There's
of that.
Ziggy. There he is.
That's perfect. That's perfect.
I had a dream. There's really not much to it, but I did say to Mom Brain that it was the best dream I've ever had. Sorry, Do. I know I had a dream where you burst
No.
through
Not
the
the
ceiling,
funniest,
but
the best.
not the funniest. Yours is the funniest. Mine was the best. It was a dream where it was legitimately just nice the whole time, and I woke up like happy, and I was
Which
like,
is
I wish.
not common for him.
Yeah, I can. It never
it was
happens.
mice the whole time.
Nice.
Nice.
Oh, okay. That's good.
Nice the whole time. The dream was I was living in some sort of like tree stump house.
Why would you like that?
I don't, but
But this is gonna.
I had a pet snail. It's just like a nice tan snail with like a, brownish shell. And it would like crawl over to me and it would lick my hand. And it was like cat's tongue. Like it felt like sandpaper. And I was like, this thing's so sweet. And I would just like pet it. And that was it. And then I woke up.
He
And
woke up with his
What?
fingers in Piper's mouth.
what did it drink?
Oh yeah, it drank moon water out of a like another shell, like a upside down like ocean shell.
Isn't that lovely?
And it was
so
specifically
sweet.
moon water, but no one ever said moon water, and I had no reason to know that it came from the moon or was powered by the moon. I just in the dream knew it was moon water. So
That's
you go.
beautiful. That's a lovely.
and like
thing.
I remember looking at it while it was drinking, and like it took a sip, but it was the water went like beer like down very quickly. I was like, this sucker's really drinking this stuff.
But you also know that what is it, Uzumaki or whatever?
The Spiral Man.
Yeah, and like that was one of those characters was like
Oh,
humans
no, you're
turning
right.
into snails. So that could have been like Dew turned into a snail, and you're like, come on, man, let's live together. I'll live in a tree stump with you and take care of you. And
Just-
Dew's sitting there licking your hand.
You're gonna come here and open the door one day, and I'm gonna be in the corner where my eyes going all around. Yeah, everything. Man, I forgot about that. That's crazy. Well, everybody, I hope you enjoyed today's show.
or maybe it was
one-
Piper turned into a snail.
We had a lot to say
Explains
on
the
and
tongue.
important stuff to talk about. And as a Nintendo fan, I'm feeling very distraught and disappointed right now. And I'd like to say things will turn around, but I don't know if that's going to happen. And if things continue this way or get worse, we need to mobilize. We need to make our voices heard. There's obviously much more important stuff to talk about here, but this is a Nintendo podcast. So when it comes to this stuff, if you are against censorship and any of that, we need to stand up and make our voices heard. Here's a little tidbit I didn't say during the show. I reached out to multiple sites to try and get them to mobilize to do something, and not a single one did anything. Why did they not do anything? I don't know, but
Don't want to cause waves.
that's probably it. That's probably it. Not saying which ones I reached out to, but I tried. I tried and I failed. But I'm not giving up, so whatever.
Did
But
you
that's
reach
it.
out to like the Drudge Report? Or gaming sites, probably is what you're
Yeah,
talking about.
mostly
you know?
gaming sites. Yeah.
See, you're reaching out. That's the problem. You got to reach around.
All my, I'll reach out to
Hey-o.
I'll reach around to my other contacts. The Top Golf website and Tetris.com, which counts. and
Beards.
the Beards blog, yeah, and
What was it called? Beards.
I don't remember what it was called at all. I just remember being very unhappy doing that, like writing that stuff. Ugh, that was mind numbing. Tetris was difficult because you can only write so many things about Tetris, but the beard thing. Oh no, the Top Golf was the worst because they wanted like a lifestyle. No, like a feel good blog about nothing related to golf at all. So I was writing about like
Right
this
about
man
the snail.
found 6 puppies in a box and took them home, and this lady grew flowers because
And
the neighborhood needed the color. And
this
like,
writer
Where'd you find
dreamed of a
those
snail.
stories?
they had a Bible of places, a style guide of places where I was allowed to hunt down, and I was like, "Call me crazy. Can I use Reddit?" And they were like, "No." I was like, "Okay."
Sorry.
So it was like, here's a car dealership that gave out cookies for one of their sales. And I'm like, no one's going to read this stuff. No one's going to read it to begin with, but especially this. So. All right, that's that. Dicks out against censorship. That's right, Red Souza. That's the campaign we're doing.
Tips and taints.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Play some games. Rest, relax, hang out with family. You deserve it. And we will see you next week. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Whoa, that was nice.
Yeah, a little suck it for the